Hello, everybody, and welcome to another brand new episode of Strong Style Live here on the Outlaw Nation channel. I am the Outlaw John Rocha, joined by these two incredible gentlemen over there to my left, Aaron Turner out of Orlando. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I don't know if I've shown this on camera, but I feel like it's timely. I got this not too long ago. A little Scarlett signed figure, a little
nice.
Fall and Prey there. Good to see Scarlett back in the company along with Mr. Cross. We'll talk about that later, but yeah, happy to be here.
Yeah, the pool's certainly getting bigger since Triple H showed up. All of a sudden, there's more people allowed inside the pool. Chris Burns, you're going to have a lot to say in all this. How are you doing? How are you feeling? And back from Canada, back from your comedy trips. How are you feeling, man?
I'm barely alive, but I am here. And I mean, what a time to be alive as a wrestling fan. What a ridiculous first week. I honestly can't wait to talk about it.
You guys may not know this, but we have a separate thread and we text each other throughout the week. And there are just some things that pop up, and each one of these guys, it's great to read their points of views. This is the first time ever this week where the guys were live texting Raw at the same time, which I thought was really interesting. And that speaks volumes about how much more Raw is becoming must-see TV again after so long not being must-see TV because of Triple H's involvement and all these wrestlers coming back. And certainly we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into some WWE Smackdown stuff as well. Get into AEW Dynamite, as Aaron likes to say, light the fuse. But also we're gonna talk about WWE Summerslam, our reactions to all of that, Ric Flair's last match, and also Hacksaw Jim Duggan, some positive news from one of the legends from the WWE. So remember that our Streamlabs and SuperChats are out there for you all to send in your Streamlabs, send in your Super Chats. You see the address above Aaron's head. I'm going to pin in the chat in just a second. So send it in as we go along. What do you want to talk about this week? All right, Aaron Turner, where shall we begin?
Did you guys watch Ric Flair's last match?
Yes. I watched it from a fan's point of view on YouTube. Yeah.
What'd you think?
Chris, you go first on this.
I mean, you ever have family members send you like links to like a horrible car crash in your neighborhood?
Oh yeah.
And it's like, yo, look at this. This is crazy. Yeah, that's how I thought of Ric Flair's last match. I legitimately concerned the entire time, not in one of those, oh man, they are working the shit out of me kind of ways, but in one of those, yo, like, why they shouldn't do this, like, don't do this kind of way. You know what I mean? Yes. It just, I knew when he walked out in a shirt. Yeah, I knew instantly this is going to be horrible. This is going to be absolutely horrible.
Yeah, but we had legends show up to this one, right? I mean, Mick Foley was there. The Undertaker was there, so clearly the man. Is that what you think? Do you think they paid them to show up there, Aaron? Is that what you think?
Well, you know they paid the Undertaker to be there. You know they paid Brett to be there. Brett looked like he'd rather be anywhere else than giving Ric Flair some dap. You got to be kidding me.
I know. Here they are. Yeah, you see Foley, you see the Taker, you see Bret Hart, Andrade there. The bloodiness of Ric Flair after the match. Yeah, I mean, it was like watching like you said, your old uncle trying to still play basketball or trying to still think he can do the things he did in the past. And everyone is letting him win because no one wants to, kind of get involved or get in his way or, let him have it. It's not that big of a deal. Seeing how Lethal and Jarrett were trying to sell these moves, I think was some of the most, I mean, I remember Scott Hall coming in all, messed up and inebriated. It was not that far off from that kind of a situation, to be honest with you. And it was tough to watch. It was very tough to watch on so many levels. And I don't know what Flair got out of this, except, as we said last week, a PR turn and an attempt to get him back to being a guy that everyone kind of looks to, wants to bring into their huddle, as the Tennessee Titans did a couple of weeks ago, to inspire people and whatever, and make people forget about that episode of Dark Side of the Ring. And to be honest with you, he might be winning this because Dark Side of the Ring is canceled now. And he has been launching this PR blitz constantly with his PR team. And this one last match, a lot of people were talking about it. So in the end, is Ric Flair going to win that match as well? It seems like in the public consciousness. What do you think, Aaron, about the last match? And What do you think about Ric Flair's PR status now?
Listen, I like Conrad. I like what he did. I like the presentation of the show, like that classic Jim Crockett Promotions, but
Sure.
everything about it was kind of trash. Like, the matches were like set up to be good, and only a couple of them were. There's like 12 matches, and a couple of them were good.
Yeah.
The Jordan Grace in the first 5 seconds injuring Rachel Ellering was not good. That sucked. And then just like the only good match was the 4-way lucha match. Like, that was the best one. I was like, oh, this is great. And then everything else is like, okay, it's fine. I just think it's irresponsible. It's ridiculous. I don't care that it was Nashville or Memphis or wherever the fuck they were in Tennessee, but it was like, Jeff Jarrett is not a big star. Like, they presented him like he was this big star, like this big deal. He had like a 10-minute entrance, and I was just like, dude, I don't care that we're in his hometown. I don't care. Like, it's terrible. Stop. And the match was awful, just awful on every single thing. When Rick couldn't do the strut, couldn't do the Ric Flair strut, I was like, all right, I'm out. And then he won with the figure 4 because he hit Jarrett with some brass knuckles and knocked him out.
Yeah.
Then he put him in the figure 4, and that was the ref counted 3, but Rick's shoulders were down 2, so he just kind of laid that. Whatever, who cares? Just fucking get it over with. I just think it's embarrassing. The best, well, actually, I take that back. The best match that I saw that I was really into was Josh Alexander and Jacob Fatu, and it got interrupted. And I was like, well, God damn it, this is like the best one, and it got fucked up. So it was just disappointing all around. As far as Ric Flair's legacy goes, I mean, is anybody going to really remember this as Ric Flair's last match? We're all going to remember it's the Shawn match at WrestleMania because it was that good.
Right.
And nobody wants to see Ric Flair go out this way. I love Ric Flair. He's like my favorite wrestler ever.
Yeah.
And I just, the dark side of the ring stuff is what it is, and it's always going to be out there, and it's always going to be floating around. I don't think this helps his image at all. If anything, I think it tarnished his legacy a little bit. So,
well,
there's that.
And let's look at some numbers here, Aaron and Chris, and get your thoughts on this. The show, according to Wrestling Observer, this show was a quote big success. It received 20 to 25,000 pay-per-view streaming buys, 4,200 purchases through cable TV buys, and according to Wrestling Observer, it is quote the second biggest independent pro wrestling show in the U.S. of modern times, not of this year, not of the last 10 years, of modern times. And that the number one is the All In pay-per-view. That took place in August of 2018 with Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks. And this one, though, Rick, there was only 6,800 fans, not a sellout, and in Nashville for this, and it drew about $448,500 to it all. So does this bode well for Rick that he still has this semblance of a drawing power in terms of people wanting to buy it and see it there? Or does the fact that it wasn't a sellout kind of tell you that people didn't want to go and, go see it live, but they were happy to watch it at home? What do you guys take from these numbers?
I think curiosity got the best of a lot of people.
Okay.
Honestly, because I mean, we all were wondering what's it going to be? What, like, is it going to be like a cinematic kind of thing? Is it going to be like an actual fucking like in ring live in front of everybody kind of thing? And I kind of put the buck on Conrad because Conrad kept saying like, well, Vince McMahon got in the ring at WrestleMania. There's ways to do these things where it's safe and this, that, and the other. Do you think what Flair did was safe? He couldn't he couldn't put brass knuckles on his hand at first.
Yeah. He didn't even put them on.
No.
I mean, it was just like, like by no stretch of the imagination should he have been out there.
Yeah.
Should that have been taking place? To your point, Aaron, Jeff Jarrett, not a big star.
Yeah.
So it has no real history with Flair to make this even matter like that. It takes my mind to what it would have been if the original plan had happened, where it had been Ricky Steamboat wrestling Flair. Oh my God. Oh my God, what a train wreck that would have been. And so it just, it just made me feel unclean, forever unclean. But pro wrestling, it's just time. Everything with time. You forget everything with time. It's Never Neverland. It's, oh God, the Warrior's a piece of shit. Oh, he's back. Great. We love the Warrior.
Right.
Right now everyone hates Vince McMahon. And in a while, one day he'll acquiesce and get into the Hall of Fame, and everybody will, oh, Vince McMahon. So I don't think it tarnishes his legacy long term.
Yeah,
definitely right now, sure. The wilt is off the rose as far as curiosity. There's no way they could do this again and have any sort of success. I don't think.
I don't know. I mean, let me throw this out there, Aaron, and of course, Aaron, weigh in on the numbers and everything. But like Dave Meltzer was saying that Rick had a foot injury, and he was saying this through his podcast as he was watching the show. And that you could tell through the training videos that Flair was putting out to try to promote the show and say, like, look, I can still do it. He was getting worse and doing less in the training videos, if you saw, because he was hurt by doing all that stuff with Jay Lethal. And so when he got in the ring, apparently you could tell that watching it, I just thought it was old man, but apparently you could tell that he did have the foot injury and it was working. So he could argue, especially considering the success of this. And as I said, ties into the numbers here, Aaron. He could argue, Rick could, that he wasn't 100%, didn't really give the fans the show he wanted, and he's going to be in better physical condition to deliver a match that the fans deserve. And look, Kiss has been on a fucking we're retiring tour for 35 years. Bands have said that the Eagles have stopped so many damn times and come back. Brett Favre made a damn cottage industry out of it. So there's nothing to say that Flair won't try this again down the road with someone else. So do you agree with Chris? And please talk about the numbers in the injury, Aaron. Do you agree with Chris that he can't do this ever again? Or is it a possibility we get a Ric Flair last match part 2?
Oh God, I think it's going to be hard for him not to do it again, which is sad. But yeah, I 100% agree with Chris. He should have never been in the ring. It's irresponsible, so stupid. I couldn't even believe it was happening. Ric Flair said a long time ago, like in the closing of WCW, he felt awful in that match with Sting because he wore a T-shirt. He was so embarrassed by himself in the last match of Nitro, which was in, like 2001.
Because he was out of shape.
He was out of shape. So then Ric Flair comes in and he's wearing a fucking T-shirt again. And I was like, God damn it. Like, anyway, I think that the numbers are kind of hard to ignore, right? Yeah. Like, it would be hard to do that. I think you're going to see these like Jim Crockett promotion like indie shows pop up. I think you'll see them for maybe once a year or like twice a year, maybe. Because I thought the production was good. I thought it looked cool and retro. Tony Schiavone on the call. No, not that Tony's bad. It's just Tony needed somebody. Who was he with? The other Crockett brother, but he's with him.
Yeah.
And that guy hasn't watched like wrestling in like 20 years. And he even says it like on the thing. He's like, oh, I don't know who this guy is. And I'm just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So that was annoying. But I could totally see it. I want Rick to just die with dignity. And I don't think that's going to happen for him.
You mean figuratively, not literally. Is what you
yes, I do. Yeah.
His career is what he's saying.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, let your career just die with dignity. Like you could be Andrade's manager, like you could do that kind of stuff if you want. Yeah. He doesn't need it, but if you want to. Geez, what was the other part we were talking about? And I just completely blanked.
Well, no, just talk about the numbers, and I think you hit everything that I was trying to get at. But yeah, he will.
His foot injury. His foot injury. Right. It's like when you watch a boxing match or a UFC fight, right? And the person's like, yeah, I didn't have my best stuff because I broke my hand in the second round. It's like, yeah, no one gives a fuck. You still got the shit beat out of you. Like we don't even try to pull that after the fact. I don't care. Yeah,
I mean, you look at let me bring this up, and hopefully we won't get. And if I do, I'll have to edit it out. But I mean, even watching him walk down to the ring, he's turning around there. He's showing the belts. Oops, turn the sound down. But look at him walking. Even the way he's walking, he's favoring. He's being gentle about it. He doesn't want to trip over the rope because he's afraid he might break something. So, I mean, that shows you right there his movement ability before he even got in the ring. So yeah, I mean, to me, this should just be it. But he is going to manage El Idolo Andrade in Puerto Rico, I think tonight or tomorrow night. And so he's not done being around the wrestling business.
Sure.
But I mean, there's no way he's not finding something like attacking somebody outside the ring or maybe rolling in the ring to get a shot off or something. But yeah, this could permanently injure him down the road. And maybe some of these guys just want to go out on their shield, and just, I'm going to wrestle till they kill me. And my biggest fear is that he talks Hogan into one last match, part 2. Like, that's my greatest fear, because that would sell out like hotcakes, and Hogan and him can go at the same pace. Because they're the same age, whereas Jared and Lethal are much younger. So I could see that happening, because Hogan has been clamoring for quite some time, since the surgery, since he survived all that he could maybe do it one more time. Even though his daughter doesn't want him to do it, from what I've seen from the comments, you could totally see Flair convincing Hogan, or them convincing each other they can go one more time and make some big money. I don't know.
I'm so mad at you. I just wish why would you just put that? You said it out loud. You know what I mean? Like, you said it,
Look,
you put it into the universe. Like, it's gonna have.
I'm not wrong. That's the problem.
No, I know you're not wrong. That's the problem. That's the problem. We're the problem. Yes. I say the collective we, the royal we, because like you said, people spent money on this thing. Yeah. People went to see it, and people would do it again, and it's fucking ridiculous. Oh my God.
Let me just put it this way: if Shawn Michaels comes back, Shawn Michaels arguably the best in-ring performer maybe ever, but definitely of the 90s.
Yeah.
Has one more match in Saudi Arabia and isn't good. What makes you think that at Ric Flair's age that he would be good? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what the fuck possessed him to do that. I don't care who you are. Like, if Shawn Michaels can't do it and he's like 25 years younger than you, come on, dude.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Good point. Well, anyway, we'll see what happens. I don't think he's done. I've seen last match many, many times, and they come back, and Flair's retired more times than I can count. So I don't know. I just don't think it's the last one. And with those numbers, you'd be a fool not to do another one. You really would be a fool not to do another one, because he wasn't seriously injured from the match, but he was injured going into the match for sure. Well, we'll see what happens. Let's read some super chats here. Chris Miner is saying, who wins the fatal 4-way of the FWF, the Fictional Wrestler Federation Championship? Is it Bonesaw, Captain Insano, Thunderlips, or Nacho Libre? Who wins that one?
Thunderlips, because he's the ultimate male.
Yeah.
Nacho Libre because of plot armor.
Oh, plot armor. Ooh, there you go.
Armor. That's good. Captain Insano, isn't that the Big Show?
Yep, it is.
Yeah, so the Big Show has jobbed many times. So I think Nacho Libre in an upset over Captain Insano in the first round. Bonesaw absolutely loses to Hogan, because Savage has always lost to Hogan. And then Hogan does defeat Nacho Libre, or Thunderlips does defeat Nacho Libre in a squash match, like 300 German suplexes or something. That's what I think happens there. Or leg drops, rather. Empire Fan 1980 says, hey, guys, it's going to be a short episode today. No big thing happened in wrestling this week. LOL. Yeah, right. There's so much to talk about.
That's right.
And Chris Miner saying, Rick, WrestleMania 24 is Flair's last match, and that is canon to me. So there you go. And I think a lot of us agree with that and would like it to have been the truth. Thank you all so much for watching us right now. We got 107 of you already right off the bat hanging out with us. So we spent about 15 minutes on Ric Flair's last match. So let's move on to some current wrestling with some current stars who can still do it and talk about all of that. Make sure you send more super chats and send in your Streamlabs. It's pinned in the chat now. Send in some support for the show. All right, Aaron, where are we going?
All right, I know that it's Saturday, but we're gonna run down 6 days ago of SummerSlam because it's just so crazy. We got to run this down. We had Bianca Belair defeating Becky Lynch to retain the Raw Women's Championship, and then we got to return Bayley. But she didn't come alone. No. She came with Dakota Kai, who was previously, I don't know, fucking fired, and now she's back. And she was joined by Io Shirai as well, but now known as Io Sky, which I don't hate. Yeah. Logan Paul defeated The Miz. Logan Paul, who knew? Bobby Lashley defeated Theory to retain the United States Championship. The Mysterios defeated the Judgment Day in a no DQ match with the help of a returning Edge.
Yeah.
Pat McAfee defeated Happy Corbin. The Usos defeated the Street Profits to retain the undisputed tag team championships. Liv Morgan defeated Ronda Rousey, sort of, to retain the SmackDown Women's Championship, which then Ronda put the armbar on her and then beat up the referee and put the armbar on him. And now she is, quote-unquote, suspended. And then Roman Reigns defeated Brock Lesnar. That's putting it mildly, to retain the undisputed WWE Championship. Theory tried to cash in, didn't work. So that is the SummerSlam in a nutshell. Any thoughts on SummerSlam?
Chris, please take it away.
Whew. I had said it last week of just like hoping that it wasn't a placebo of things just feeling different.
Yeah. About
WWE. But with this being the first official pay-per-view under the Triple H era, dude, I mean, it felt the gravitas to everything just feels so much greater. It seems like there's higher stakes. It seems like the performers care way more. It seems like the championships matter. It seems like wins and losses matter. It just, I mean, look, to start it off with Becky and Bianca, I thought was absolutely perfect. With it, okay, wait, my bad. Let me say this.
Okay.
The whole thing about Triple H's takeover, no pun intended, is that it's all going to be small things that add up to major change.
Great point, dude.
And here at SummerSlam I felt, the true beginning of that.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh, is this a major storyline shift in the women's division? No. You set the table a little bit. You move the chess pieces just a little bit. We're going to bring Becky back to the side of babyface to have her stop battling with the audience that wants to cheer her. We're going to bring in this heel faction so that we're going to inject some new life into the situation, give new people that are on Bianca's level to feud with.
Good point.
Not a Carmella fucking pay-per-view match, which is ridiculous. And boom, all of a sudden you have months and months of matches and storylines to do in the Raw women's division by itself with very small changes. And so that was the start of the whole thing. So happy to see Bayley back. She looks incredible. They look good together, the faction. Yeah. They all look, and then again, it was like, oh shit, like you gave that element of anything could happen. Like you said, Dakota Kai was gone.
Yeah.
And we had no idea what was happening with Io. Like she wasn't on NXT TV. She wasn't on the main roster. What the fuck's the situation? Now they're with Bayley, who can talk her ass off, talk them up, give them the rub, and have an immediate impact on the main roster. Perfectly done. Logan Paul.
Oh, dude.
Natural heel. Like we always say, everyone would just want to boo this guy.
Yeah.
But he was so damn good, he won the crowd.
Yep.
It was a gladiator moment. Win the crowd. And you know what I mean? And he did. He fucking did. Yep. He looks better than The Miz as a wrestler. His physique is way better. He's way more athletic. He's taking chances with his body that he does not have to take. That is a rich man. You know what I'm saying? That is a popular man with so many other things going on outside of pro wrestling. And he's doing 5-star frog splashes, you know what I mean, onto announcer tables. How do you not love it? Yeah. Good Lord. Bobby Lashley defeating Theory. I hate to say that was a lower point of the situation, but I love that they're still building up. Lashley, I loved that they gave attention to the U.S. title on Monday Night Raw. We'll get into
that video. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It was unbelievable. And, I enjoyed the Mysterios versus Judgment Day. Wasn't, super pumped about it. My funniest moment for me was when Edge returned and he's coming up the hydraulic thing but there was a shot of the stairs, and you saw that there was nothing behind the stairs. So it was like, well, is he just standing there waiting to get lifted? That just looks dumb. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like it just
Wet fart for Edge.
Yeah, it's like, oh no, don't do that. Like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
Pat McAfee versus Corbin. You know, God, Corbin he just sucks. And I hear people being like, oh no, I'm not so down on McAfee's ring attire. No, I still hate it. It's still terrible. Fucking dress up for the occasion, my guy. You're gonna wrestle. Dress like a fucking wrestler, please.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy. I got a lot more to say on that when we get to SmackDown. Usos versus Street Profits. If this is a slow build to Montez Ford becoming a heel, and it's just like his utter frustration and not getting it done.
Yeah.
Okay. Just don't do it just suddenly. Don't just suddenly make them break up like they do the tag teams all the time. And I'm fine with it. Usos and Street Profits, it's almost impossible for them to have a bad match. And this was right in that pantheon. The Liv Morgan Ronda Rousey situation.
Ooh, boy.
Yeah.
Okay. I get it. I get why they did what they did. Because, I had said it. It's just not believable for Liv to knuckle up with Ronda Rousey. It just isn't. So how do you get out of the situation? Oh, she gets her ass beat and she just, Ronda beats herself essentially.
Yeah.
And I liked that because it's true to UFC too. Like, who's the guy who beat Lesnar but had no business beating Lesnar?
Frank Mir.
Yeah,
Frank Mir. Right. But it was like Brock had made a mistake, gave him his leg, messed up. Rematch, beats the tar out of
beat the shit.
And that's like, that's exactly how you have to book this. Ronda made a mistake. She wouldn't let go. She's in the fucking 3 count. But, Liv taps and that protects Ronda, makes her still look strong. I thought it was a decent ending. It was fine. And I didn't even mind the aftermath because to me, it wasn't Ronda turning heel. It was just Ronda being a badass. You know what I mean? Like the whole thing with Lesnar, I don't think Lesnar's ever a face or a heel. It's just
he's just Lesnar. Yeah.
He's just Brock.
It's whose his opponents are based on whether we root for him or cheer against him. And I think the same situation should exist for Ronda Rousey. Like no one can fight her. You know what I mean? So it's like it really is the situation. So I wasn't as mad at it as a lot of people were.
Okay.
But we can talk more in depth.
We will. Go ahead. Yeah.
And then the main event.
Whew.
How do you end a feud that never ends? Like just literally tearing the ring apart. That's how you do it. Like this like we are so not ever doing this again that we're not even going to allow it to end in a ring. We're going to put it on its side. We're going to blast Lesnar in the head 8 times with a championship belt. The Usos are going to get involved. Heyman's going through a table. I haven't seen Heyman take a bump in years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that wasn't a soft bump either for a man of his age and his body size. That was not a soft bump. Yeah.
Not at all. And then they buried him in all the rubble.
Oh, so good.
I love the pictures from after the event where Lesnar put his hat back on and sat in the demolished ring and smiled with everybody. Just great. The dude's having a great time, and I love having a great time, Lesnar. Now we can let him rest for a little bit, bring him back when we need him for something else. I don't know what that is right offhand, but fucking great event. Very few holes in the armor. Again, no real like, oh, that was so stupid. You know what I mean? There was really none of that I can really think of to complain too heavily about anyway. Great show.
Right. There you go. Good show. There you go. There's the Chris Burns review. Aaron.
Dude, I'm telling you, thoroughly entertained by this show. Like it's one, like Chris always says, it's like it just sneaks up on you. Like it's a low-key banger. We started off with a banger, Becky and Bianca banger.
Yeah.
And then, how we did a whole show on the state of women's wrestling, and we said the thing that the WWE main roster women need is they need some sort of excitement, some sort of like an injection of something. And we got that, dude. We got essentially three new characters, even though Bayley's been there for a long time. But we got Bayley back, and we got Io. And I know people are like, "Oh, Io Sky, what a stupid name, dude." Io Shirai is hard to fucking pronounce for a lot of people. And I don't think I've heard. I think Rocha's pronounced it wrong for the past 2 years.
How dare you?
So IYO, so it's Io Sky. Fine, it's fine. It's not the worst thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
But you have three women that actually complement each other very well and make sense at a stable. You got Dakota Kai, who's your pinball, who could just be thrown around the ring and do whatever. Then you got Io, who's your high flyer, and you got Bayley, who's your grounded actual wrestler. And they, you're all around wrestler. They're all wrestlers, but they complement each other so well. So that was a good idea for a faction. I kind of thought Io may be going main roster if she didn't go back home, which was the rumor that she was going to go back home. We talked about it last week. And fitting Dakota in there, I didn't see that coming, but I'm glad because it does work. So that was good. Logan Paul, amazing. I don't know what else to say. We thought Stephen Amell was good a couple of years ago. It's wow, Stephen Amell's got a real knack for this.
Yeah.
And it's no, Logan Paul's got the real knack for that, which I hate saying because they're atrocious people, it seems.
Dude, at some point you have to concede that these
you got to give it. You got to give him his flowers, bro.
Both of them show up and really do put in the time and dedication. They're not weekending this at all. They really put in the time, and it shows in their performances, and that's going to win fans over 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, Logan Paul has endeared himself to the WWE universe. Did he have to? I don't know, but he did, and we're all like, yay. As far as, let's see what else we got here. I don't need to talk about everything. Ronda Rousey, Liv Morgan, that was an ending that I was like, all right, that works. And then we get to SmackDown, and I was like, oh no, oh no, they screwed up.
It didn't.
We'll talk about that later, but I couldn't think of a better ending for it though. Honestly, honestly, Ronda Rousey just beat Liv Morgan's ass for 10 minutes, beat her like a Cherokee drum, as The Rock would say, just beat her to death, and then put her in that armbar. And I was like, well, Liv Morgan's not going to get out of this,
right? And
then it was just oh man. I was glad to see Ronda finally embrace the heel. That was great. Glad to see that. And then in the main event, dude, I got to tell you, I know what happened with that tractor. I guarantee you when Brock walked out on SmackDown, Triple H was like, what's it going to take for you to come back? Brock's probably like, Triple H, I need a new tractor. And they got him a fucking tractor. And
I need to level up from the milk truck and
dude,
the beer truck.
That's exactly what it was. It was the milk truck. It was the beer truck. It was Austin on the Zamboni.
Yeah.
But it was a fucking giant country motherfucker in a tractor. And I did not see lifting the ring.
Yeah, I know.
Coming. Holy crap. I'm in the same mind as Cornette because I had to hear what Cornette said about this because I thought he would shit all over it. And I had to hear what Corny said. And I'm of the same mind. As a wrestling match, terrible. Terrible wrestling match. As an entertaining spectacle, nobody does it better. Nobody does it better than the WWE because he put Roman in the bucket.
Let's put him in the bucket.
And dumped him in the ring. I don't know if you guys saw this, but did you see at the beginning when Brock was doing his entrance? Or he was saying his name, and then he threw the microphone at Roman Reigns, and Roman just caught it super low key caught it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the right finish too. He buried the monster under all the rubble. They did it to the Super Shredder in TMNT too. That's just how you do it. Lifting the ring though, he hit the ring and pushed it forward, and I was like, oh, that was kind of why do you do that? And then he lifted the ring. I was like, oh my God. And shout out to Roman Reigns also for taking that bump and making it look completely ridiculous. He's just whoa. It was such a fun match. It reminded me of that Sami Zayn, Johnny Knoxville match. This match should not be entertaining the way it's going, and it's amazing. So I had a great time with it. I thought it was awesome. End of an era, sure. It's a pure wrestling match, complete garbage, but great fun to be had.
Yeah, real quick, because I think we should focus on 3 of the matches. But real quick, Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch was a damn good. I thought initially there were some missed stuff, and then they found the rhythm, and it was a good match. Then her turning face, we've seen that happen at big pay-per-view events. Certainly, Rock turning face. Hogan turning face after facing The Rock at WrestleMania 18. So that stuff happens. It was great. It was really well done by both Bianca and Becky. I thought that was really the respect factor between them, and then having those ladies show up and Bayley show up. This is the first time I felt a 3-woman faction has NWO vibes. Toxic Attraction didn't do it for me.
Okay.
What was the one before with Paige and
Absolution.
Absolution. This one does it because all 3 of them can go. All 3 of them can wrestle. All 3 of them can deliver it. And I think that's what you're getting here. It has shades of it. And certainly what happened at Raw has shades of NWO as well when they were beating Becky up in the back of the auditorium there. So to me, that was so fun to see. Plus, I mark out huge for for Bayley. So I'm excited to see that. And it works for Becky to go on an injury break now, but essentially going in injury as a face. So when she returns, that pop that she got at SummerSlam that was erroneously turned into a 28-second demolishment of Bianca Belair, when she comes back again, everyone will pop for her now in all the best ways possible. So that's a great thing for her. Logan defeating The Miz. Logan Paul looks great. I don't need to say more than that. Lashley defeating Theory. Keep it going with Bobby. Mysterio's a Judgment Day. I don't care. Edge coming in. That's what I cared about. That was cool. McAfee Corbin. I was probably taking a shit. Usos versus the Profits. That was awesome, and I said it was going to be fucking great, and it was. Those 4 can go, and it was great to watch, and it was so many near falls, yet they totally worked, and the frustration afterwards from the Street Profits was so great. And them coming in, with the Tennessee Titans gear, all of it just worked so well. It was brilliant on so many levels. So let's get to these 3 let's get to the match here with Liv Morgan and Ronda Rousey, and then we'll get to the main thing. But to me, absolutely fucking hated it. Absolutely fucking hated it. She is not a good wrestler. She's a mid-carder at best, and not even like an Edge mid-carder that has the potential to be. No, we have seen the glass ceiling on Liv, I think, and it's not going much farther. It reminds me a lot of Britt Baker. We're going to get to AEW Dynamite. Jamie Hayter outshone Britt Baker that entire tag team match. And the same thing here, you're seeing Ronda. Ronda has to slow the pace down. Ronda has to deal. I mean, Ronda's is not immune to being a botch queen herself. So you put both of them in the ring, and it felt to me like an awkward, clumsy match. Ronda was definitely kicking the shit out of her. Liv had 2 or 3 moves. I mean, that one move was pretty awesome. That one move where she was taking her off and then absolutely slammed her from behind on the canvas there. But the controversial ending, I think, would have worked. Chris and Aaron, I know you guys thought it worked. It would have worked if we have seen Ronda becoming obsessed with it for weeks, the loss to Liv and the losing of the belt. That would have worked, because then you've built the storyline up that her obsession, like they had with Becky, the obsession to get the belt back, they built that up really well. They didn't do that with Ronda. And I think if they had done that with Ronda, then that ending makes much more sense. In a vacuum, the ending makes sense because it saves Liv and it saves Ronda. But the buildup wasn't there, so the ending to me felt tacked on as opposed to organically driven by the storyline. So that was frustrating. But having your champion tap and then celebrate the victory, knowing she tapped before the 1, 2, 3, I think was just a bad move. And that's why people booed her on SmackDown, because she was out here celebrating this victory and she talked all that shit about the people wanted to be a champion and blah, blah, blah. Well, I think the WWE did her no favors by that booking, because they had her tap before the 3 count. If she was tapping at the same time as the 3 count, that could have saved her as well. But she tapped before, so the fans now are like, what are you celebrating? You're a face and you cheated to win, or you didn't cheat to win, but you gave up before, and now you've got a cheap victory and you're celebrating the cheap victory. That's not good. So I think that's why the fans turned on her. And, honestly, she's not that good. I know people love her and all that kind of jazz, and I love a good underdog, but she's not that good. So it doesn't merit it for me, in my opinion. Any counterpoints, gentlemen, on that before we get to the main event?
The chat has all the counterpoints. I'm not a Liv fan. Like, I'm sorry, guys. Like, I'm sorry. I'm not. You can leave the chat. You can hate us all you want, but I just don't see what other people see. And that happens sometimes. I just don't see it.
Yeah. I like this I like this from Brad Bond, New Woman's Order. I dig it. I absolutely dig it. Do it.
It's not bad.
What do you got there, Chris?
I see what people see in Liv Morgan. I do.
Sure.
I see it.
Sure.
With that being said, I'm I'm joining Rocha's faction on this. I'm going full heel on Liv Morgan. She's not good. She's not good. We have seen her potential.
Yeah.
Last week, I said, now is her time. No, 2 weeks ago, I said, now is her time. Okay, you got the belt. You better fucking show and prove. You have to.
Yeah.
And what have we seen? I know it hasn't been a long title reign so far, but even the way she handled herself on SmackDown wasn't the greatest.
Yeah.
And it just, it just feels like they just got excited. And it's one of those things. It's like Triple H inherited this problem. You know what I mean? It's not.
Good point. Yes.
It's not something that he planned. I'm sure he probably wouldn't have given Liv the Money in the Bank and let her win the way that she did. Because the whole thing is snake bit. You want her to be the underdog that people like. She takes advantage of a hurt Ronda Rousey and then taps out, and then to your point, celebrates that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, dude, it defeats the entire purpose of having her position the way she was as an underdog that fans can get behind. Because now
and then going on the bump and making that comment, like, the fans want me to be champion, and it's like, you didn't go in a full match and win the belt. You got it off a cheap win at the end. Right. And then for you to celebrate it that way is kind of a heel move. Sorry, Chris. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, exactly right. Exactly right. If you were going to do it and she's a Money in the Bank winner, it's like, have her do it like babyfaces have in the past and be like, okay, I'm cashing in on this date, this time. I want you ready for me. You know what I mean? And then she overcomes the odds. Fine. Do it that way. But all this weaselly stuff that she's been doing, it's, you know what it is? It's becoming the Cody Rhodes situation in AEW, where he, in his mind, is a baby face, and the fans are like, nah, son, you are fucking heel, and we will start to boo you if you don't start to fucking change up some things. And honestly, I don't even know if Liv works as a heel right now either. So she's in a tough spot.
She is, right? Because
guys, we got to move on. The chat is going to burn us alive. They said they're gonna set fire to dumpsters and pelt Santa Claus with batteries. Like
do it, Philly.
It can't happen.
I like it, but no, I mean, that's the thing is, look, I get it. Everyone, like Chris said, I get it too. I get it. She's got a sweet personality. She really loves the business. She wants to succeed, and you get it. But it's not coming through in the ring. And you guys cheering for her because she got to move right. That speaks volumes. It's like I said, it's like those people cheering George W. Bush when he says nuclear correctly for the first time. It's not. That should not be the level. That should not be the fucking level. Okay, you've got Becky, Charlotte, Sasha, Bayley, Asuka, and you're gonna give me Liv Morgan? No, come on. There's maybe one level difference between her and Aaliyah. It's an honest truth. Come on. You're looking at a woman who is limited, a person, regardless of gender, a wrestler who is limited in what they can do in the ring. And it shows. It shows. And people who love her are cheering for her because she gets a move right. You're not cheering for her because she gets a string of moves right. You're cheering for her because she gets a move right. And she got beat all over that Money in the Bank match and then slid in and got that thing. And same thing here. So maybe it's the booking. Maybe, and I could concede that a little bit now as I talk about it. I got to see more here. But Chris, you're right. If they go heel with her, do they do the spin where Ronda goes face again? And it was just her frustration that did what she did. And then you turn Liv into a chicken shit heel. She would be great as a chicken shit heel. I think, in my opinion, like a Carmella type heel. I think she'd be laughing with that big mouth of hers, smiling, laughing at you for getting away with it again. That would totally work. Because people will have a natural proclivity not to like her in that way. So if they do more of this chicken shit stuff, she's done. And what face cusses on TV? She cussed. She was like, thanks for calling me out on my shit. I appreciate you calling me out on my shit. That means the fans got to her. That quickly the fans got to her. That does not bode well for your champion. And so I'm sure Triple H is like, fuck, man. I mean, people love her. And I don't know what to do here. So it's going to be interesting to see how Triple H navigates this now with one of the premier championships on his roster, on his brand. So I'm just going to be very, very curious to see how they play this out because, yeah, it certainly is. Ronda. I mean, Ronda should have won that match. Hands down, should have won that match. And it's a joke, really. Yeah, and I think that's right. It's called pretty privilege. Yeah, I don't disagree with you there. If this is Shayna Baszler is a miles better wrestler than Liv Morgan, but because Vince never saw her as an attractive woman, they don't give her the shine on the top of the roster. There's no now she's won, and we'll see if Baszler is the one after SmackDown that takes the belt off of Liv. Because if you have her beat two MMA stalwarts who can completely destroy her, at some point the fans are going to turn because they don't believe in it. They're not going to fucking believe in it. And it's crazy looking at this thing that Liv is the only woman in history who has pinned Ronda twice and escaped 3 arm bars. That's insane to me. That Liv is the one doing that. Anyway, all right, let's move on to the main event here because the main event was fucking gorgeous. If you want to delineate wrestling match versus, I don't do that. It's like, what was the show? And I loved this section of the show. I mean, like Chris said, I wasn't sure what they were going to do. Was it just a spike with Triple H coming back? And this entire SummerSlam showed you what this new regime is going to be all about. And it's exciting. And that main event is the showpiece for what you're going to be seeing. It was old school Attitude Era. It was old school, the best of WWE. And those two gentlemen delivered a banger of a fucking match back and forth. And the madness of it all, the Reigns rolling out, the Usos getting involved themselves, Austin Theory coming out to throw a whole new wrinkle in the thing was great. And then having him finally defeat Lesnar and pile everything on top. And like a king of the jungle standing atop the pile. It was like it was just like what you see Godzilla or King Kong do, one of the monsters, like stand atop the pile after he's defeated all the odds. And it was incredible. As if you couldn't elevate his legacy more. This match did it. So, gentlemen.
I mean, Roman, God, I mean, it's just become a thing now. Like anything involving Roman just has so much more weight to it than anything else on the show. I was watching SmackDown last night, and it just like everything paled in comparison to him showing up at the arena and him coming out to do his promo later. I mean, it is they've succeeded in what they've been trying to make Roman this whole time, which is a living legend, like God amongst men, an Okada type, situation where anytime he's present, it's like, oh shit. You know what I mean? I don't know what's going to happen next. And that's what your main event guy is supposed to be. It's not really. If we talk about like the guys who have like really carried the company, have they always been the greatest workers? We could talk about Hogan, and his one real wrestling match against the Great Muta in 1992 or whatever. But he did 5 moves of doom. You know what I mean? But there was a gravitas to him.
Yeah.
That it just changed. Everything changed when he showed up. And that's where Roman is. You know what I mean? Same thing with Cena. Same thing with The Rock. Austin in his later years where he couldn't really wrestle. He just punched the shit out of you over and over again. Same things. And, kudos to them for them really getting there because it has been a long road to get Roman there. A lot of stops and starts, a lot of fans, to your point about Liv, just not believing. And it's ironic that his catchphrase used to be "believe that," because now they do.
Yeah, for sure. Aaron?
Roman Reigns is Stringer Bell. Like, seriously, like, he's getting to that mystique level, dude, because it's like Stringer Bell walks in the room, the minions shut the fuck up. Roman Reigns walks in the room, everybody takes notice, everybody shuts up.
I might go one better. I might say he's Marlowe. Like because he's taken over. Stringer got what he got, whereas Marlowe came in and took the game over from someone else of name, Stringer, and then became the man. And so I wonder if maybe he's more Marlowe than Stringer Bell, for God's sake. So. But, I mean, your comparison is still apt, for sure.
These wire references do anything for you guys?
But, I mean, is this the greatest heel run we've ever seen? Can we say that? I mean, you got to factor in Flair. I mean, Flair. You got to you got to factor in Hogan in the NWO run. You got to factor in, a few here. Rick Rude, Hennig. Is this the greatest Because he's the champ, and heels are rarely champ for this long. So, we're going past 700 days. Attention must be paid. Consideration must be had here. This could be the greatest heel run ever because he's doing it with the belt, and they never let heels keep the belt for a long time.
We're not going to know till it's over.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's up there, though.
Yeah.
It is definitely up there. The old school wrestling fan in me wants to be like, absolutely not. Yeah, but God, what can you really say? It's been tremendous. It's been tremendous
for sure. All right, well, let's get some of these super chats. The Streamlabs in here. Black Cinema Critic says the Liv hate will stop. Well, no, it won't.
Talk to the SmackDown crowd about that.
Yeah. Let's see here. Empire Fan 1980 says, watching SummerSlam, I WWE think where Bayley, I missed her, and she showed up. I was so happy I missed her. Also, damn, Bayley looks so good. Damn, Bayley looks so good. LOL. Well, I'm not going to comment on her looks, but gentlemen, thoughts on Bayley coming back there and what he's saying?
I think I've said this before on this show. To me, Bayley's the GOAT.
Yeah.
Bayley is the greatest women's wrestler of all time. And then your head can explode all you want.
The GWOAT? Are you saying she's the GWOAT? Oh, 100%, my God.
Wow. 100%.
Wow.
From an unassuming babyface hugger in NXT to that brilliant rise to feud with Sasha. She could not beat Sasha. Goes over at Brooklyn, puts on a to this day. Is there a better women's wrestling match to this day?
This is a top 10 wrestling match, regardless of gender, of the last 22 years.
Regardless of gender, in general.
Yep.
And you know what I'm saying? Coming to the main roster, she's won every title, the tag team title, the Raw title, the SmackDown title. I mean, she's been a great rival to every single person that she's been in a feud with. She did what people thought was impossible. How are you going to turn the ponytail girl into a heel? Right. Brilliantly. That's how. Ding dong. Hello. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And now, and then it's like I feel like she wasn't getting as appreciated as she was. She leaves. How badly did we miss her while she was gone?
Yeah.
Super bad. And now she's back. And yes, she is super bad. Absolutely.
Aaron,
go.
The MVP of the Thunderdome era, man. Like, it was Bayley. She was the female MVP of that era. I'm never going to say a bad word about her. Like I've said it many times. I think she's the most solid, sound women's in-ring performer that they have right now. She's so smooth. I've had the privilege of seeing her live many times at WrestleMania, and I've seen her in the fucking Cocoa Beach Armory with 150 people. Like, I've seen her kick ass, and she's great. And of course, I was thrilled when she came back. And someone said the ding dong hello. Oh, Roberto also said, I never thought ding dong hello was catchy. It was annoying. That's the point.
Yeah, I know. That's the. I'm always blown when people don't get heel stuff. Like, I know. Like, I fucking hate it.
One of the biggest comments I saw about the Roman match was, God, the Usos always help Roman win. I'm like, he's a fucking heel. That's the point. Of course they do.
I hope that was a 10-year-old. I hope that was a 10-year-old because I can understand a 10-year-old feeling that way. Yeah, I mean, Bayley coming in, there is so much to enjoy and adore about her as a wrestler, as a character. And look, you guys know, we've watched the business for years. It's the wrestlers that are able to adapt to the changes. Okay, you know what? The face thing burnt out. What can you do? Can you turn heel? You know, Cena overcame that. Even when people were cheering against him, there were still enough people that loved him as a face that he stayed that way. Hogan, when he saw the writing on the wall, took advantage of it, went full heel, and elevated himself to the stratosphere even more so. Bayley here, people were done. They were booing her matches. They weren't paying attention. The crowds were dead towards the tail end of her being the face. And when she made that switch, it was incredible. Cut the bob hair, got the mom cut, the whole nine, changed the gear, destroyed all those little things that pop up and the little whatever, the windmen, and she became a whole nother thing. Yeah, all that. And then was able to add levels to it and add dimensions to it and add different kind of avenues for her to explore as a heel. And she's killed it. And then coming back now with a faction which she has never really done. She's had a tag team with Sasha, certainly, but a faction now, that's going to be so interesting to see what she does with it. And that nothing says veteran, trusted wrestler like putting you in the lead position of a faction. So certainly they see that with Bayley, a future big time with Bayley. And you know what? By the time it's all over, you might be right, Chris. She could be the GWOAT. It's certainly possible. Certainly possible.
Were you talking about wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube men?
Yes, whatever that is. Yes.
And I believe they called them wacky waving inflatable arm flailing Bayley buddies. I think is what
Bayley buddies, right? The Bayley buddies. That's right. I forgot about that. Chris Kutcher says, I think Flair is the best ever, but after watching that match, I felt sad, uncomfortable, and as much as it kills me to say it, I found the whole thing pathetic. Yeah.
Check.
You'll find no disagreement here, Chris, for
100%.
sure. Oh yeah, he also comes back and says, after TV this week, I think back to that Raw angle of Vince in the rocking chair and imagine him thinking, God, these people really hated my booking and talent decisions.
I guarantee you Vince is not watching.
Yeah, probably not.
He's not watching.
Probably not.
He's watching fucking Gunsmoke reruns. Like he's not watching. If he's not a part of it, he's not watching it, dude. I'm telling you.
Probably. Bonanza.
He's catching up on 30 years of pop culture that he missed out on based on the references that he's made and had the writers write and the ways they've had people talk. You know what I mean? Because, oh God, but did you guys hear that interview with Bobby Lashley? It made my heart flutter a little bit. I was a little scared when he was like, it's not like Vince isn't going to be around. You don't build something up and not be. I was like, don't say things like that.
Bobby.
Chill the fuck out, Bobby. Holy hell. Good Lord have mercy.
Listen, cults come in many shapes and sizes. And so, when someone who is in a position of power gives you a shot and keeps bringing you back, there's a certain level of loyalty that's almost cult-like that gets created there between you and that person. So I understand what Bobby's saying, because they're all going to say these nice things about Vince to a degree because they owe so much to him. But in the end, yeah, I agree with you, Chris. Please don't say that. Put in the universe.
Yeah, Vince just watched Terminator and he was like, give me that Schwarzenegger guy. I can do something with him.
Empire said, do you think they call the Fiend and bring him back? Yeah, I mean, we're going to get to it. We saw Karrion Kross come back. We've seen, Dakota Kai and Io Sky come back.
See, he said it wrong again.
Sorry, Io Sky. Sorry, you're right. We've seen them all. It's because I think of Captain EO with Michael Jackson. I don't want to say that.
Oh my God.
It throws me off.
That's offensive.
Okay.
Whoa. So offensive.
Whoa.
It's
on a lot of levels.
I got a lot of names in there. Anyway, but we saw Edge, as everyone predicted, being the person who was what looked like Fiend-like promos. That was Edge. But do you think with all these wrestlers coming back that we got a possible call to Bray Wyatt in motion? Or is that not something you think Triple H might be doing?
I don't remember if Wyatt was a Triple H guy. Yeah. I know. I mean, look, if I'm Wyatt, I'm calling them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, good point.
Yeah. Wait. You know what I mean? The landscape is completely different. Yeah. I don't need to go to AEW and have to change my name and gimmick and all, these other things. There's a fan base already ready, and I'm going to have some freedom to do what I want it to do, which is where he thrives. Oh, no. Yeah, come on now. They should absolutely do this.
Okay. Aaron?
We got Dakota Kai. We got Cross, Bayley, Sasha, Naomi.
Rumors. Yeah.
Gargano.
Who do we get here? I don't know. I would have said Adam Cole or Keith Lee, but that's not happening. And then we get the big stone, Bray Wyatt, right there. So Triple H putting the Infinity Gauntlet. Oh, yeah. I think it's a foregone conclusion now that Triple H, now that we've seen Cross and Scarlett come back, I think it's happening. Like, you look at these NXT people that he loved, dude. Like, he put so much behind Cross, and they got him back, and I think that Bray Wyatt will be another one of those guys. I don't know if he was a Triple H guy either. I'm going to assume that he was, because the Wyatt family was there like during the early transition from like regular NXT to what we know it as kind of now.
Yeah.
I don't know. But they were tag team champions there, so I don't know. Maybe, but I could see Triple H wanting to work with him. Hell, they almost had a wrestling match like a couple times. So Oh, yeah, Johnny Gargano, too. Yeah, we'll put him in the gauntlet.
I think there's a lot here to look at with Bray, and I'm not going into a big old diatribe. There's a lot to look at. the booking has not served him well. His comebacks, his appearances have always been fantastic, but then the booking has always flaccidly ended him. And that's kind of hurt him with the fans. So if Triple H wants to bring him back, and if he wants to come back, Bray wants to come back, there's got to be a conversation about the process and the steps, right? What we're going to do. And I feel like Triple H, having been a wrestler, having been a part of this, a little bit smarter in the booking, can map out a thing for Bray that'll convince him to come back. And because you've got to keep up in the ante of the people that Roman Reigns is going to face. Now you got Drew McIntyre, and it's pretty clear he's not going to win at Clash of the Castle clean to win the belt, because you don't introduce another prospective person in Karrion Kross for Roman to face, because they didn't put the time clock on Drew. They put the sands of time there on Roman. So clearly that's Karrion Kross being lined up. So after Karrion Kross, Bray Wyatt would be a fantastic thing for Roman Reigns to have to battle to keep his belt. So, and that could be otherworldly. You think we got shit with Lesnar? This could be a whole nother thing. If you put Roman Reigns in a Bray Wyatt, John Cena type WrestleMania match, that visual camp, that could be so fucking interesting if they get it right. Just throwing it out.
Think about the pop.
Yeah.
Of the bloodline in the ring victorious. And the goddamn Firefly Funhouse music.
But let me ask you guys this, and let me ask this to the chat.
And I think he brings Bo with him, because
fuck,
Brody Lee is gone.
Come on,
where is Bo Dallas?
You can find Bo Dallas somewhere.
He's selling real estate with his girlfriend Liv Morgan. Anyway,
even more reason.
That is his real life girlfriend. But
more reason. Yeah.
What are we okay if Bray Wyatt doesn't come back as the Fiend? Like, what if he just comes back as Colt Bray? Like, are we okay with that? Because the Fiend sells the merch, and we could get probably back there eventually. But do we want him back as like Swamp Man for just a little bit?
Look,
like,
Alexa is lost right now. Is she? They don't know what they're doing with Alexa. So
Chris, no, you're right. What I like about Bray is, and that was what was so cool about the match with Cena. He's the three faces of Foley, but as a heel.
Yes.
We never really see that. You know what I mean? Right. It's unique. Like, at any point, he could be Cult Leader Bray or the Fiend or Firefly's Funhouse Bray. I say you keep that dynamic rolling, and you just don't know what you're going to get. And then maybe there's another personality that shows up. Oh, no, Moon Knight has another person. And, you know what I mean?
That's good. That's a good point.
Yeah, that kind of thing. You just really never know. And that's what I love. Because he's so creative, he can make anything work. We might see Husky Harris again. You never know.
Well, let's think about this too. Like, let's say we fold Bray Wyatt back into the fold, or fold him back in the fold. We put him back in the fold. We've also still got Orton, who's out there. He's injured. Cody, injured. Yeah. John Cena, still out there. Like, we've got people to put in there eventually. We're going to have some big matches coming soon, dude. I'm telling you. Yeah.
And I'll throw Braun Strowman out there as a possibility.
I don't think so.
You got to up the ante. I know his politics and but you just never know.
He's controlling his narrative, and that's fine for nobody watching.
K-Dog says, man, you guys have been saying the women's division needed a faction, then boom, one of the best heels in the forefront. Absolutely, K-Dog.
We're the best wrestling podcast live show on the internet. That's not surprising.
It's a very good point. Like Cinemac, we already read that one. Sorry. You can send it again. Orlando Rego, good to see you, brother. He says, hello, guys. SummerSlam was a fun pay-per-view. Thoughts if Liv Morgan should have kept the briefcase instead of cashing it in for the belt? That's a excellent question. Did they make a mistake? Because this was before, right? Triple H took over, right? Did they make a mistake here, letting her win the belt off of Ronda at Money in the Bank?
Yeah, she should have kept it. She should still be Miss Money in the Bank. Like, let her. It can't. Here's the problem. It was like this grassroots kind of support for her. Yeah. I would argue she wasn't all the way over. I would argue that, and it's like you could have used her time as the Money in the Bank holder to get over. Why not do a storyline where you address the concerns and the other women on the roster is like, you don't deserve that thing.
Right.
Give it to me. You know what I mean? and she has to fight off other people who want to take the
God.
briefcase for her.
That is genius.
Very simple.
Oh my God, that is fucking genius. You spent a whole year having her wrestle people for her case. And in a way, it simulates the belt. It simulates that's genius. And you could sell merch, Miss Money in the Bank. She's pretty, beautiful. People think she's attractive. Sell that. Miss Money in the Bank would sell like crazy merch. And for a whole year, and then you bailed up. Because I agree with you, Chris. It was just before the wave. I mean, the wave wasn't at its crescendo, as you saw with Daniel Bryan when he won the belts at WrestleMania. This was just here, and people were deluded that it was here already. Not yet. If you had done your plan, Liv is over like crazy. And the different styles that she has to wrestle gets her over even more if she can step up to the plate. It's also a great test for your company to be like, okay, is she the one to give the belt to? Yeah. Aaron, what are your thoughts on that?
I think Chris nailed it earlier when he said the smartest thing for her to do. I think Chris said this, but the smartest thing for her to do with that briefcase was come out front and say when she was going to challenge somebody. Like, hey, I'm going to challenge Bianca at Survivor Series, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that would have been great. Anything outside of that is dumb and doesn't make sense. Make it make sense. Now available tpublic.com.
Right there, ladies.
There it is.
There it is.
It makes sense.
Anyway, all right, let's get to the next comment here. Is this all right? Luis Enrique de la Peña says, do you think at SummerSlam we're seeing the beginning of the Attitude Era 2.0? Plus, sorry guys, let me put our brand back up. Plus, what the hell was Theory doing in the match? Someone please strip him of the case. No, Luis, no. This is how you're built. Exactly what Chris just said about Liv. This is what they're going to do with Theory. They're going to build him up to the point where he is so over that when he finally cashes that thing and wins the belt, people are going to go insane. So it's perfect what they're doing with Theory. And yeah, maybe it is Attitude Era 2.0. What do you guys think?
I think people, okay, we got to stop this.
Yeah.
Everyone keeps thinking like, when we need another Attitude Era. It's like, guys, revisionist history and amazing documentaries aside, the Attitude Era was great because of who was in the company.
Right. Great point.
Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, Mick Foley, Triple H, The Undertaker, the sort of end of Shawn Michaels, before he came back later. You know what I mean? Like, that's just an insane talent roster. Just those guys alone. The mid-card was great at the time too. And the tag division. And the Divas were, as how tough it is to watch now, they were super popular at the time too. But so it's not about like, oh, we got to get back to this like edgy fucking, crazy sexual stuff in wrestling. No, dude, it's just great stories, great talent, and you'll get there. And to what Aaron was just talking about a minute ago, with all the dudes and that are still on the shelf or out to make a return and this, that, and the other, once all that's in place, you could get something very similar.
Yep.
They have an embarrassment of riches right now.
Aaron?
They fired 100 people and they're like in pretty good shape. Or 200 people and they're doing all right. Thumbs down to the Attitude Era, but Theory's a weasel, so of course he's going to keep doing this.
Yeah.
So yeah, makes a lot of sense. I know it's strip of the case, but we did the same thing a couple of years ago when Otis won the Money in the Bank. That was obviously a bad decision.
Oh yeah,
and we had to get it off of him. But like Theory's a fine person to hold Money in the Bank. That doesn't mean he's going to cash it in and win. I would like to see him get foiled. Actually, I think that'd be hilarious.
Yeah, could be. Luis Enrique de la Peña also says it looks like the WWE fans are turning heel when Roman appears. They're embracing the heel turn. Even me, everybody puts their number one finger up top. Hey, they were doing the same thing for The Rock and Stone Cold. That's how it works when you're over as a heel, right? Yeah,
that's the point of this run. They're like, no, we're going to make him a huge heel so that we can make him a huge baby face, which is what they've always wanted for Roman. That's the entire point of the Tribal Chief storyline. I can guarantee you that. I know for a fact that is why they did it. I can promise you that.
There you go.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you got it. Like the NWO, people cheered the NWO. They were there to. Scott Hall even took the poll. How many of you are here to see WCW? How many of you are here to see the NWO? Like people want to be cool with the heels. Like Bullet Club, same way. NWO, same way.
That's right.
There you go.
Elite. Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah.
Empire Fan says, "You're going to get a Roman shirt. I'm your daddy." Tell you what, Empire Fan, you send me a Streamlab of $25 and I will absolutely go get a Roman.
Have you seen that shirt?
And wear it next week. No,
it says,
it
says,
a good shirt?
It says like acknowledge your daddy and other shit. It's weird. I don't like it.
I would only wear it on the show. I wouldn't wear it around town.
Okay.
Orlando Rego says, Bray returned to NXT after being husky in the main roster, so he would be Triple H's guy, hoping for Johnny Gargano and a Candice LeRae return. All right.
I don't see Candice coming back.
Yeah, I
really don't. And Johnny Gargano, I think, is a foregone conclusion as well.
Yeah. Well, what do you think, Chris?
Why? I'm curious why you don't see Candice coming back.
Because I never see her I see her doing signings and stuff, but I never see videos of her in the ring or going to indie shows.
Yeah.
And I know I know they just had a baby. I know that. I think they have a 6-month-old baby, but it's she just doesn't. Maybe in a year or two, but she just doesn't seem like she's not that she's ready. Of course, she's a good wrestler, but it's I just don't see her fervor to get back in the ring right now. So,
yeah.
That's all.
Well, you think we're wrong, Chris? Do you think she's coming back?
No, I don't know. She's one of those ones where it's she was on the indies. I mean, she was just the belle of the ball. You know what I mean? And she wrestled men mostly. You know what I mean? And then there's that gnarly match where she got busted open and she was wrestling with the Crimson Mask, and that got her over huge with that audience. And then it just seemed like her whole WWE run was less than climactic. It didn't seem like they ever really gave her that much to do or showcase her talent. Yeah. So it would be interesting if she feels like all these other people do, which is oh shit, now's my time where they might actually showcase me and at least give me the opportunity to show what I can do. So I don't know. I'm in for a Johnny Gargano, Candice LeRae, Karrion Kross, Scarlett feud. I'd be into that. Even though I have a lot to say about Karrion Kross.
Yeah, I don't know if he's one of those stones necessarily. But I will say this. Maybe what we're seeing with Miz and Maurice is a dry run of what we might be seeing with Candice LeRae and Johnny Gargano, where she doesn't come back to full-time stuff, but she certainly can come in and be part of storylines and be maybe in a mixed tag match, do those kinds of things. Because Candice never had an issue taking bumps. I mean, she took some hellacious bumps for a body her size and was able to bounce back and always deliver in all of those matches, whether one-on-one, in tag team, or those big 5-6-way matches. She was incredible in them. So in that way, I would love to see Candice come back, but I do get the vibe that she's probably just happy being a mom and wants to enter in this new phase of her life and do that. But if we see her back, I wouldn't be surprised. Huh?
And that's cool.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah. Roberto Arsenal says that the women's tag match on AEW was great. Jamie Hayter keeps getting better. Liv Morgan isn't the best in-ring wrestler, but she's my favorite female wrestler. That's fair. That's totally fine. Yeah, and we'll get to the AEW stuff in just a second, Roberto, so we'll put a pin on that. Haskell says more fans are cheering Roman, and he'll go face eventually, but if they want to keep him heel, what can they do to get those cheering fans to turn on him?
Nothing.
Yeah.
You're too far gone. You can't do it.
Yeah. Nothing.
Agree. CGM show says, anyone ever notice that the best baby faces make for the most entertaining heels, like Sami Zayn, Bayley, and Johnny Gargano? Well, not always. Piper was never face, really, in any kind of public consciousness, maybe in the smaller divisions or in the independent promotions, but he was always a heel. People loved him as a heel. Whenever he turned face and he was nicer to Hogan and stuff, like when he was doing the Piper Spit interview with Hogan before the WrestleMania 3 match, it still had a heel-ish approach to it. So he was never fully face, but certainly a lot of great faces have become fantastic heels. Yeah.
And that's kind of my argument for why Bayley edges out like Becky.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or something like that as the greatest, because Becky, you saw it. She could do either one. Yeah. You know what I mean? Bayley, it was they'll never turn her heel.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's never going to happen.
Yeah. Right.
Well, I think we're seeing the opposite with somebody like Edge. In my opinion, Edge, I thought with the Judgment Day as a heel was interesting. And then we bring Edge back as the Edge we knew before. It was he's got the old music back. He's got short hair. And it's he's helping Rey Mysterio. And I'm yeah, but he's just not that interesting now. At least with the Judgment Day, he could cut these great promos and he could get to talk. And as a babyface, it's just dude, I don't care.
Yeah. Brian Brawler says, get the shirt, dude. Come
There
on,
you go.
Super chat takes 50%, brother. So
Oh my God.
You're only 50%.
I think collectively you got
man.
it.
You said 25.
Yeah, Chris is
20
right. I said 25, man.
27.49 actually.
Oh, there it is.
After fees.
Haskell says he sent you the shirts to put on the air here, Aaron. I don't know if they're on your Twitter. You should tag all of us when you do that, Haskell, because I don't have access to bring up Aaron's Twitter that you have sent to him. So just letting you know. All right, let's move on, dude, because we are fucking way behind. So we need to get into Raw. Let's get into Raw real quick, and then we'll swing back to AEW and a little bit of SmackDown as well. Let's get into some Raw / SmackDown.
All right, so
let's go.
So Becky Lynch comes out on Raw. She's injured, cuts a promo. Bianca comes out. They shake hands. They hug, yada, yada. Becky leaves and is attacked by Bayley, Io, and Dakota Kai, now known as Control, I believe. If that's right, Chris?
Yeah.
AJ Styles defeated The Miz and Mustafa Ali in a U.S. title eliminator. Seth Rollins defeated Montez Ford in an impromptu match, and it was a fucking banger. Ciampa defeated Dolph Ziggler and Chad Gable in another U.S. title eliminator. Io Sky and Bianca Belair ended in a no contest. No surprise there. Edge got his own music back and vowed to actually kill the Judgment Day. He vowed homicide. Ciampa defeated AJ Styles to become the #1 contender for the U.S. title. There's some Triple H influence. The Usos defeated the Mysterios in the main event to retain the Undisputed Tag Team Championships, and Edge accidentally speared Dominic in the aftermath. Do you want me to go ahead to SmackDown, or you want to stop?
Yeah, if you got the results, go ahead. Yeah.
I didn't put all the results. I just got two things that were really interesting. Liv Morgan got the shit boot out of her. We talked about that.
Yes.
And then at the end of SmackDown, when Drew McIntyre was confronting Roman Reigns for their match at Clash at the Castle, we got the return of Scarlett and Karrion Kross beat down Drew McIntyre. So it looks like we're going to be falling and praying. Doomsday has returned. Thoughts on the WWE action this week?
Chris, go ahead, man.
Monday Night Raw. To what John talked about at the very beginning of this episode, I have not watched a live Raw in so long. I mean, in years. Better, I'll do you one better. I left work early to watch the East Coast feed. I said, I got an appointment. I really got to go. I brought my ass home and turned on the East Coast feed of Raw to watch it live. That's how excited I was to see Monday Night Raw after SummerSlam. And delivered. Yeah. Again, not a brilliant episode of television, but he's like, in the era of where they always talk about you listen to the fans will tell you the direction that you need to go. What have we said forever? Elevate the mid-card belts. Mm-hmm. If you're going to have both world titles held hostage, which they should be, in my opinion, there should be one world champion. Right. If that's going to be held hostage by one guy in whatever feud that he's in, then you got to make your brand exclusive titles mean more, because then those can main event the shows. Yeah. Those can main event house shows. Those can give you more intrigue as far as what the other wrestlers are doing, not using them as a prop. You know what I mean? As a freaking joke. The U.S. title has been a joke before this. You know what I mean? The IC title was a joke before it got around Walter's waist. And so it's just like, you give us the video package, you show us the all-timers who have been U.S. champions. I forget that Bret Hart was a United States champion. You know what I mean?
Right.
See all that stuff, and you're like, oh, yeah, this like meant something at one point. You let Bobby cut a promo about it. You know what I mean? Then you have some of your best workers putting an effort to seem like they want to be U.S. champion. You use it to elevate a new guy in Ciampa. Just perfectly well done. Perfectly well done. Absolutely what you should be doing with the United States title. And then, like I said, just the importance that Lashley is the champion and he hasn't been pinned in like a year. Yeah. You know what I mean? That in and of itself is just perfectly, perfectly set up to make that title mean something. Love the Becky promo. Glad that the man is back.
Yeah.
It just feels right. It just feels right. But then didn't overshadow Bianca's moment. She's the champion. Right. You know what I mean? Have her come out. And then even just the sense of realism of where it was like no music played and the people came out to beat up Becky. No, some shit's going on in the back. Oh, fuck. The camera's not even there yet. And Bianca didn't even hesitate. She just dropped the mic and ran out there to help. A lot of times the baby faces just kind of stand there like idiots, like, wait, what's happening?
Looking at the screen. Like, oh my God, what is this? Yeah.
Not Bianca. Oh shit, my girl is getting beat down. I gotta go.
In heels. In heels.
And then like you said, it's very NWO-ish, very like, and also a good way to add on to Becky's injuries. Like, not bad enough that her arms hurt, but now she just gets beat down in a parking lot. So it's like, okay, good. Now she's gets written off TV for a while. Again, just well done. Nothing dumb, nothing foolish. Yeah. When in a million years, would you have predicted that in 2022 you would have seen on Monday Night Raw Bianca Belair versus Io Shirai?
Let's go. Let's go.
I mean, what? You know what I'm saying? I couldn't even believe that it was happening when she came out and said, I want to match with somebody. I was like, oh, naturally, they're going to feed Dakota Kai to her. No, sir. We're about to see Io Shirai step in. And it was a banger. It was an absolute banger. Yeah. Like you said, the Seth Rollins Montez Ford thing was a banger. We're seeing the slow move toward Montez's heel turn. Yeah. Am I interested in what's going on with Edge? I haven't decided. Fair. It just feels too calculated, the Dominic turn at this point. It just seems too telegraphed for my taste. And also, I just don't care about Dominic.
I think it's an inherited
bastard, Dominic.
I think, like you said about Liv, I think it's an inherited thing. But sorry, go ahead, Chris.
Yeah. As far as SmackDown, we talked to death about Liv. One thing that you neglected to bring up that I did want to shine light to, just because I said it. I said that you needed to get Shayna involved in the world title picture with Ronda.
Yep.
Who wins the gauntlet match? Come on, baby. Give it to me. Give me the Divas of Doom. You know what I'm saying? Who's going to stop that combination of Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey? I just want them to dominate the SmackDown division. Because
it's official for Clash at the Castle, by the way. It is Baszler versus Liv Morgan at Clash at the Castle.
Love it. And I had texted you guys watching that gauntlet match. I just realized how damaging the booking has been to that division. Without Charlotte, Naomi, and Sasha, no one else on that roster is over. Yeah. No one. They've been burying Shayna. They've been burying Sonya Deville. They've been burying, Natalia is always just like kind of out there in the wind.
Right.
And I was just watching it like, wow, they don't have anybody. They have no one. You know what I mean? And so like Triple H got an uphill battle with that division. And I think Ronda and Shayna together is a perfect way to handle it.
Yeah.
Do you want me to go on my rant about Cross now, or do you want to just jump in here, John?
Let's save the Cross thing as something all three of us should talk about. Real quick. Becky Lynch, great promo. Loved what they did. I think echo everything Chris said. I'm not going to add too much to that. AJ Styles, hopefully they're going to figure out what they're going to do with AJ at some point, because, I mean, he re-signed that contract. So clearly he's probably just biding his time for now, and eventually they're going to move him back up to start competing for other belts as well. Rollins, Montez Ford, that's totally – you talk about Dominic being telegraphed. The Montez Ford seems pretty telegraphed at this point as well, and telegraphed in a good way. Like, people want to see that happen for sure. So I thought him and Rollins had great chemistry. And I just near the end when he like pulls that move on Rollins and thinks he's won, him yelling, even after he messed up the kind of jump up, him yelling to the crowd and getting the crowd with him was awesome. And the way they ended it was great, where he thought, totally, I got this thing. He went sky high on that frog splash, and my man threw those knees up and went off the rope and did his finisher there. It was great by Rollins. Ciampa, great to see Ciampa get a little bit of run. Nobody cares about that company more maybe than Tommaso Ciampa. So seeing that being paid back with the love and the victories and the possibilities here for him is great. And dare I say, he's outshining The Miz. Dare I say it in their thing. He is slowly outshining The Miz, in my opinion. Love the Io Sky, said it right there with Bianca Belair. That was cool. Getting them all involved was great. I'm with Chris on Edge. I don't know how I feel about this. And if it was too soon to bring him back, because it wasn't like Judgment Day came off as a kind of this insurmountable team of people. they were all people that either were buried by the booking or didn't quite get over or were over and they messed them up like Rhea. So I don't necessarily see that happening. I don't necessarily see that being that big of a deal for Edge to overcome them. So it kind of feels a little bit like a meh, I guess you would say. Usos and Mysterios. I mean, the less I see the Mysterios, the better. So Dominic getting speared was nice. And if he goes heel, great. And maybe, just maybe, because this is like you said with Liv being the champion, Triple H has inherited this situation too, the Mysterios, and he's got to figure this out because Triple H respects the legends of the business. So you know he's got a lot of respect for Ray. And that U.S. title video shows you how much respect he has for the business. And so to me, the history of the business, rather. So to me, he's got to figure out how to navigate this, not hurt Ray's feelings, but give Dominic a whole new life or a chance. And if it doesn't work, then he can go to Ray and be like, dude, your son's not getting over. What can I, you know the business. What can I do here? So maybe that's a way he's got that. So making him heel, maybe we've got a chicken shit heel potential that Dominic can get over with as kind of one of those nepotism situations that could work. So we'll see. Liv Morgan, we talked about it, not much more to say. And Chris's his final point was great on that too as well. So let's so Aaron, what do you got to say? And then we'll jump into the Cross Scarlet situation.
I don't really have much to add to any of that, but I will just say that the Miz is really fucking good at his job because how many times have we said the Miz is like that guy you pencil in? You need somebody to go up against Logan Paul.
Great
There's
point.
the Miz.
Yep.
You need somebody to make Bad Bunny look like $1 million at WrestleMania. There's the Miz. You need this. You need that. You need Bobby Lashley to absolutely kill somebody and win the title. There's the Miz. Yep. He's so good at his job, and he will never get the respect that he deserves, but I'm here to give you your flowers, Miz. I love you so much. And then I did want to bring up a quick point about Haskell made a really good point. He said with Triple H in charge, stoked to see Kevin Owens, who we didn't talk about, hopefully get back to being actual KO and not the jokey Kevin Owens. So, yeah, that's another guy like Cena, Orton, Kevin Owens, Cody, Bray Wyatt possibly. Throw all them in the mix. Holy crap, we got something really great.
Can I say one more last thing? The Sami Zayn interaction with the Usos outside the locker, fucking gold. Please, let's lean into that. It's so great because he's like, I talked to there's a thing with a guy, you don't need to know about it, but we had other thing. It was brilliant. And then was it Jimmy or Jay who walked away? Jay, when Jay lays the hammer down on him and Jimmy being like, sorry, bro, and just walks off. I thought it was great. Perfect how it works. So anyway, sorry, Aaron, go ahead.
No, that's good. That's all I got.
Okay.
We talked about Liv Morgan. We could talk about Cross.
Lead us into Cross, man. What are your overall thoughts? And then we'll go to Chris.
I like Karrion Cross. I like Karrion Cross in NXT. I like the presentation of him and Scarlett, the fallen prey, the weirdness. I like that. Cross didn't get a proper run because, he was NXT champion twice, but it was during the pandemic era. I mean, we're still there, but like the Thunderdome era, where there was like little to no fans. So Cross kind of got over there for a bit without people, which is kind of nuts. And then they bring him up to the main roster. They give him the fucking Maximus Decimus Meridius helmet, and it just fucking sucked. He lost to Jeff Hardy like night one and with a small package. So stupid. And then they just buried him after that. So now we get to see Cross as like an actual killer and get to see what he's going to do. And now, who would have thought Scarlett is going to be a part of the package here. And I think the TikTok thing is a cool gimmick. Like, that's kind of fun. Like, let's put the hourglass, which you can see right there. She has the hourglass here in her figure. It's just icing on the cake. I think it's cool. I think TikTok is a cool catchphrase. Politics and other stuff aside for Mr. Cross, I think the package of Cross and Scarlett is great for television. Let's see it.
Okay. Chris, thoughts on this? Counterpoint, I guess I would say.
Couple things. Just real quick. Yes, the Usos were correct. Like I said, you can't just put on a t-shirt and then pretend like you're part of a fucking group that you're not really a part of. You got to hold your weight.
Can't do it.
Well said.
Your weight. Very important. Also, quick shout out to Ricochet, who got a win on television. Who saw that coming? Fucking yay. But Killer Cross, Karrion Cross. This dude sucks, dude. Like, I don't know what you guys see. Like,
don't put me. I haven't said my opinion.
Man, like, okay, it's a wonderful package. I mean, I could be awesome too if like everything went black and white every time I showed up on the podcast and I had this smoke show standing next to me, you know, doing the promos, threatening my enemies for me, and then the booking is done in such a way that I just murder whoever I fucking wrestle. Like, come on, man. It's just the same match, the same everything with this dude. You saw what happened. They stripped him away and everything that made him cool. And what was left? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I saw the guy wrestle on a couple independent shows here in LA. And I was just like, yeah, look, it's just a guy. He's just a guy. He's just a guy. And I don't get it. I don't get it. I could be 100% wrong. I don't think I am. I think that the presentation is awesome. And I think that there is Emperor's new clothes, bro. Emperor's new clothes. Scarlett's amazing. But she would elevate anybody if that whole situation was there. It's Ultimate Warrior, bro. It's the music and the entrance.
Oh wow!
Once the bell starts, ain't nothing there. Ain't nothing there. And I almost guarantee you that he's gonna get exposed. I can almost guarantee it.
Oof. All right. So now that we've heard both points of views on this, I think I'm somewhere in the middle. I never was a Karrion Kross NXT person, but I respected his abilities in the ring. And yes, him and Scarlett worked so well for NXT. And then they blew it. Like they really blew it. One of the many NXT call-ups they blew during Vince's run there. And I'm sure Triple H, it was killing him inside. You know, some guys, you got to respect some of these company guys who have to eat their feelings. Especially Triple H, who's like this close to the boss, has to eat his feelings watching the people he shepherded and fostered it through NXT get completely mauled by the booking and creative in the SmackDown and Raw. So now that he's in charge, he wants to give his boy a proper run. And I don't have an issue with that. Let him see what he can do. And as Chris says, if he does get exposed, we'll all see it. We'll all see it. And so give him the chance. And let's see what he can do. Do I think he's going to be a world beater or crazy? No. But look, fucking Corbin has been existing on pay-per-views now for well over 3-4 years. And somehow he's still considered somewhat over with the fans to take up a slot. And I feel like Karrion Kross can't do any worse, you know, and maybe down the road we'll get a little bit of a turn. Scarlett being there is cool as well. But, you know, Drew did him no favors with that tweet he delivered it was Becky Lynch level tweet here where he said, was I just jumped by the guy last seeing wearing bondage and a helmet? I've had better Fridays. That is what McIntyre tweeted in the rare moment of doing well with Twitter. And it was a good tweet. You can't deny it was a hell of a burn. But I mean, also, let's not forget McIntyre was 3MB. So, I mean, you got to look at perspective here as well. So, but Aaron, as the supporter of Karrion Kross, I please have the final word on this.
I think that Kross is different than the Ultimate Warrior. Who said that? Zeno Hour said you're out of pocket. And he's exactly right. Out of pocket. Because Karrion Kross has moves. Like he has the cross jacket. He's got the Doomsday Saito. I just think like the whole package is better. Like it's just everything about it. Even if Kross sucks, like in the ring, which he doesn't, it's still going to work because people haven't seen this. The majority of the people that watch WWE, 2.4 million on Raw or whatever they have, is crazy. As opposed to like the 600,000 that watch NXT, 600,000 to 800,000. So like 3 more times the audience are going to see this presentation of Kross and Scarlett. Like it's going to be something new and something cool. Yeah. And as RuPaul would say, just don't fuck it up, man. Fuck it up.
Nice reference. Nice reference.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fine. He's going to win you over.
Yeah. Maybe.
Orange Cassidy is winning me over. Karrion Kross could win you over.
Orange Cassidy can wrestle.
So can Kross.
All right.
Fall and pray, Chris. Fall and pray.
Let's take a quick break here and move over to some Hacksaw Jim Duggan news real quick.
Yeah, I hate to blow through this, but we need to kind of blow through this. I did want to put this in here because happy news. Happy to report that WWE Hall of Famer and all-around good dude Hacksaw Jim Duggan is cancer-free. He had his Jim had his prostate removed in October of last year, but unfortunately announced that his prostate cancer had returned in March. And after 8 weeks of treatment, he rang the bell, and Hacksaw Jim Duggan is cancer-free and looks great, dude. Like, looks great, looks in good spirits. It is worth mentioning that Hacksaw did have a battle with kidney cancer in 1999, but Hacksaw, you know, still making the town, still making the signings. I got a lot of love for Hacksaw, one of the best dudes, in a double tough SOB too. Don't let the hoe and the craziness fool you. Hacksaw is a double tough dude.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that was able to have the old school look in the new school times, and people were still over. You know, he was him and Harley Race. They kind of have a similarity in that way that, you know, they don't come out with 6-pack abs and massive muscles. They're just tough motherfuckers, like Dusty. They're just tough motherfuckers. And if you get in the ring with them, you're gonna feel it and you're gonna know it. And Hacksaw was always one of those guys. I don't know, did he ever turn heel? I don't know if Hacksaw ever turned heel.
In WCW.
Oh,
he became a Canadian
Canadian thing, yeah.
Oh yeah.
But, dude,
okay, I don't
how can you get more American than the American flag and a 2x4? Come on, bro.
All right. Any words on this, Chris? Before we move on.
I mean, no, yeah. Shout out to Jim, man. I've had the pleasure of meeting him a bunch of times. Piper would bring him to the Comedy Store. I mean, you want to talk about a monstrosity of a human being? Like, you just walk by him, and it's just like, who is this massive fucking? Just so much humanity. Yeah, this guy. So just happy that he's doing well, that he's recovered. True legend, not even before WWE, you know, when he was in the territory days even. So yeah, big shout out to him and his family. Much love, many blessings.
There you go.
And all right, fun fact, first winner of the WWE Royal Rumble.
Right. Good point.
All right, let's move on to AEW Dynamite news and notes. We have at the top of the show, Jay Lethal, that's right, defeating Orange Cassidy, and then calls out Wardlow for a TNT title shot, which will happen tonight.
Yeah.
The Undisputed Elite beat down the Young Bucks after the Young Bucks not adding Bobby Fish to their team because Cole and O'Reilly are still injured, and Hangman Page came out to make the save. Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker, as we talked about earlier, defeated Thunderstorm. Jamie Hayter looked good. Powerhouse Hobbs defeated a local talent. Then Ricky Starks tried to get his revenge and got a spine buster for his troubles. Christian defeated Matt Hardy. That was in 2022. The Acclaimed defeated the Ass Boys in a dumpster match, and shout out to Max Caster for just being amazing on that. Chris Jericho defeated Wheeler Yuta in the main event by submission. So there you go. AEW Dynamite in a nutshell. What stuck out to you there?
This is not the show you wanted to deliver on the same week that WWE came back with that kind of Raw. This was not the show you wanted to deliver. And Tony Khan, I hope, is taking a look at this going, we can't do this again. If this is the level that Triple H is coming with now in WWE, we're fucking scared. You know, like I said last week, you do all you want around a sleeping elephant. When it gets up, it tramples everything it sees, and it feels like WWE is awake now, and AEW should be fucking scared. The Lethal Orange Cassidy thing, Lethal, who's been losing every single fucking match, now is going to take on Wardlow for the belt. I don't know if that's the right situation, although Lethal is a damn good wrestler. I love it, and this is probably what he was promised. Title belts or title opportunities for coming over. Great. The Undisputed Elite Young Bucks thing, that was a great segment. That was awesome. That could have been on Raw or SmackDown. It was great. And the twist, the turn, fantastic. Hangman, still not over for me. I mean, coming in doing the save, I don't know.
Dude.
I don't know, man. I mean, I want to love Outlaw shit. I got to root for somebody because Outlaw, but him coming in with that wife beater or whatever you want to call it and the fucking steel pipe, I'm like, I don't know about that. Hayter and Britt Baker, Thunderstorm, I thought that was a damn good match, and the fans loved it. But the more Baker wrestles, especially amongst actually damn good female wrestlers, the more she gets exposed. And Hayter outshone her in this match on her own team. And I think we're seeing Hayter become the female Wardlow in terms of AEW. They're going to start launching her on the ascension there for sure. Hobbs and Starks, that's going to build up. Christian Matt Hardy, as he said, 2022 what is going on there? And they didn't even have a satisfying Jungle Boy situation coming in and getting a shot in on Christian. He just ran off. And the crowd doing the Jungle Boy move was great. Acclaimed and Ass Boys in a dumpster match. I could give a fuck. And then Jericho and Wheeler Yuta. Yeah, okay, fine. I think the best part was Moxley coming in at the end because Wheeler is not on Jericho's level. And it was very evident. And that's your main event. When you just had it, when you're watching the Raw show, it just doesn't make sense. So for me, I thought this was kind of a flaccid AEW Dynamite with some good moments, two or three good moments, and then the rest was just not up to par. What do you think there, Chris?
Not too much to add, really. Yeah, I don't care about Jay Lethal. I'm sorry, and you took part in that Flair thing. You should be ashamed of yourself. Yes. I mean, come on. I'm going to pop for Bullet Club, nostalgia, references, Adam Cole, being like, don't you ever forget what you did to me when they ceremoniously kicked him out of Bullet Club with the double super kicks. It was a tough day at the office. I'm sorry we had to do that to you. So, but it is what it is. Cute reference of the dumpster match. The New Age Outlaws with Cactus and Terry Funk. Okay, cute little reference, but as a match, it was kind of whatever for me. Yeah. I mean, I think you just kind of got to speak about AEW overall right now, based on what's happening in WWE. I get it. There's no war. There's no rivalry. It's an alternative, not a competitor. All that stuff, right? But as an alternative, what you had going for you was the work rate. Yeah. And we're going to put on these incredible matches, and it's going to be about wrestling, and it's going to be more sports based, and this, that, and the other. Dog, you got the dude who was in charge of NXT Black and Gold running the main roster. The matches are going like 20 minutes. We got like a 15-minute Nakamura versus what's his name?
Ludwig Kaiser.
Ludwig Kaiser on SmackDown. You know what I'm saying? Like, when's the last time Nakamura had a match over 5 minutes? You dig? Like, your advantage is blown. It's gone. It is gone. And so you got to really think about this. It's you might really want to take a look at this MJF situation and strap a rocket to his ass immediately.
That's good.
Okay, because I don't know who's going to save you. The Juggernaut is running loose, and I don't know how you're going to stop it right now. This show wasn't it. This show was not it.
Right. Aaron?
I got to speak in broad terms, because it's like Christian and Jungle Boy was interesting for a couple of weeks because of Christian, not because of Jungle Boy.
Right.
Jay Lethal getting a title shot against Wardlow. Okay. I like the Acclaimed. I think the Acclaimed can be like one of your good babyface tag teams. I think we need to lean on the Acclaimed a little more. Scissor me. Like, I love those guys. Bowens can go. Caster can talk. I love it. It's a good combination. Okay. I don't like Thunder Rosa wearing the sandbagging since 2004 shirt or wherever the fuck she was wearing. What is that about?
I gotta
let it go.
Okay.
Let it go. I love Rosa, but let it go. It's so stupid. The Undisputed Elite turning on the Bucks. Right decision. Wrong intended crowd reaction. The Bucks are baby faces, guys. I'm sorry. They're fucking not. Like, how are you going to make the Young Bucks endeared to the crowd? No, everybody loved the Undisputed Era. They loved them more than the Young Bucks. I'm sorry to say it. That is the better team. Everybody loved the UE. Even when Roddy got into UE, it was still great. So, come on. And I love Roddy too, but it's like, that's just the wrong outcome. You want to bring in Hangman Page to be with him? Okay, give Hangman something to do, I guess. But it just, I think someone in the chat, super chat, we can just bounce to the super chat. It says, MDB 2006 said, any AEW show where Jericho's the headline is usually a disappointment. People don't want to admit it, but no one wants to see him headline shows. Yeah, that's my burner account. So yeah, 100%. I don't want to see Jericho do it. The incubus, I don't want to see it. I just don't care.
I don't
Whatever Chris Jericho is on TV in AEW, I don't want to see it. I don't care. And I really, really
He's not
hate
Punk. He's not Punk. Sorry.
And I really, really hate Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta. I've probably texted you guys to death about that Little Rascals crap they pulled with Satnam Singh in that match. I hated it. I said, get these fucking goofs off my television. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing for them. If AEW at the time couldn't sign like these 200 WWF wrestlers or whatever, they would not have jobs.
Yeah.
Like, I don't expect them to have jobs in a year. They're going to be gone. So do all the goofy stuff you want, but I hate it, and I think it brought down the show.
I like this comment. Real quick, Polar Bear, it's great. Says the Bucks want to go babyface so they can try to block FTR's success. They are jelly as fuck.
Oh, totally. Because FTR is the best tag team in the world, and the Bucks are not.
Yeah.
And people finally see it.
Shit, I hadn't thought about that. That's interesting. Can the pettiness extend that far, for God's sakes? Wow.
Yes.
I keep thinking about how long is the FTR's AEW contracts?
Yeah. Oh my God.
You think they wouldn't want to go back in a Triple H ran WWE?
God. I didn't even think about that. Jesus.
Could be real bad. Could get real bad for All Elite real soon.
Don't even start looking.
And for the record, on a positive note on AEW,
Sure.
Battle of the Belts is tonight. It's already been taped, and I heard that Claudio Castagnoli versus Konosuke Takashita is a fucking banger. So I'm going to watch that tonight for sure.
Okay.
I can't wait to see that.
That's cool. Let's see here. So we got some Streamlabs super chats. Let's hit some of those as well before we wrap up the show and get some trivia. Orlando Rego says, should AEW be worried with WB Discovery merger happening? I feel they are the highest rated show on TBS with Dynamite, but Rampage, maybe. Maybe. I don't know what's going to happen with the WB Discovery merger. And this feels very similar to WCW and Ted Turner when Ted Turner sold it and what happened after that. So certainly there might be some concern here going forward about how they think of their pro wrestling product.
Yeah, I mean, I think they should be very worried. To your point, the revisionist history is that Vince McMahon destroyed WCW and then bought it and it was done. No, AOL did not give a damn about pro wrestling, didn't want it as a part of their portfolio. Yeah. And so they put it up for sale very cheap. Vince McMahon bought it. That's what happened. And if that is the case with WB and Discovery, and they just look at this thing and they're just like, pro wrestling, you know what I mean? Then
that's true.
It could be real. It could get real hot. It can get real hot for Tony Khan.
They issued a report yesterday that they have all the canceled shows recouped them $850 million. So if they look at Warner Discovery, if they look at wrestling and they see this as a loss leader that they don't see any potential in, then watch out. Yeah.
Seriously.
Sorry. Good.
No. So the landscape can get very, very interesting.
Yeah.
Where does AEW fall on their priority scale? Like it's
a good question.
Batman. It's like Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Game of Thrones, the Harry Potter universe, fucking Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, Dr. Pimple Popper. It's jokes, but it's the same. Yeah, 90 Day Fiance. They're killing it in the ratings. Like, and I got to like 6 or 7 and didn't mention AEW. So it's like, are they going to put, like, they just pulled a $90 million Batgirl movie that had the fucking return of Michael Keaton as Batman in it, and America's favorite, like, older brother, Brendan Fraser. Like, unbelievable. So, like, what makes you think they won't do that to AEW? But I don't think they will. I think they'll let it go for a little bit, and they'll see. It's kind of a wait and see kind of thing. Because, like I said a couple weeks ago, at the upfronts, they were very high on AEW and TNT.
You're right.
So,
you're right.
There you go.
We'll see.
Do I think Rampage may move off of TNT? Maybe.
Yeah.
Because it's not doing well. So
that's a good point. Yeah. Ryan Christian says, Dynamite was great for the first time a woman's match shown in the first hour and was a banger. Now add a second segment for the women and let's go. Well, adding a segment and having the women who can deliver a banger are two different conversations. So you tell me, you when you sync 4 of your top wrestlers into that section, great. But what do you got? Jade Cargill versus who? In the second section, is that available? But no, I don't disagree with you there. The more women can be highlighted AEW, I got no issues with that. Gentlemen, what do you think of this comment?
I mean, Sure. You know what I mean? We said it from a bunch of times. They definitely need more feuds and things like that for the women that don't involve the championship. They got to make that roster a little bit more well-rounded. But as of right now, it's just like the personnel that they have is not – it's not on the level. You know what I mean? It's not on the level that we're used to seeing across the pond. And I know it's tough to you're not supposed to make these comparisons, but if you're an alternative, what are you showing me in your women's division that I'm not getting over there? Even the Impact, situation with their women that is better than this.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, no one's going to be marking for Athena versus Ruby Soho or Tay Conti or, Jade Cargill versus Athena or Nyla Rose or Mercedes Martinez. It's not going to be there. It's not going to be there. So, yeah, showcase it, but it won't get the response that tag team match did.
If adding Bayley, Dakota Kai, and Io was like an injection of something, then adding Madison Rayne we didn't really talk about this.
Go ahead.
As like the women's division coach in AEW, I think that's good too. I think that's a shot.
That was announced this week, by the way.
That was announced this week, and she was on Dynamite. No, Rampage. I don't know, but anyway. So yeah, Madison Rayne, a good veteran, of course, TNA for a long time. She wrestled one match in WWE in the Mae Young Classic.
Right.
So I think she adds the veteran leadership that you need, but they also have that in Serena Deeb and some other people too. So it'll be interesting, but any kind of knowledge through that leadership is a good thing. I really think they should add Medusa or somebody like that with a lot more experience, but it is what it is. And Madison Rayne and Jade Cargill are wrestling on Dynamite this week, and I shit you not, Madison Rayne is a tiny woman.
She is.
In stature. I don't mean she's got muscles and stuff, and that's cool. But it's I don't think she comes up to Jade's waist. I'm dead serious.
Yeah.
So that's going to be, I don't know how you make that work, but.
Well, Madison takes bumps, though. Madison was always good at taking bumps, for sure. She was never the leader of the beautiful people, but she certainly delivered. Yeah.
What are they waiting for with Cargill and Chris Statlander?
I feel like Jade never wrestles. All she does, all she says is cut the shit. That's all she says.
Yeah, fair enough. Luis Enrique de Pena, real quick. Favorite Rey Mysterio match or moment after celebrating his 20 years in WWE? That's a fair point, even though that's from last week, but still. Gentlemen?
Ever
WWE? I'm
going
to say ever Halloween Havoc with Eddie Guerrero, duh.
Yeah.
And then for WWE, I really like a random match that he and Kurt Angle had on SmackDown. It's fucking great.
Okay.
Kurt even talked about it in his documentary. He said it's made him a better wrestler. So
all right. Chris?
Yeah, for sure. Halloween Havoc against Eddie. When he was the lone person who refused to take the LWO shirt off to Kevin Nash, even though that he didn't want to be in the LWO at first. I thought that was I always loved that moment for some reason. And then his return at the Royal Rumble a few years ago when they thought he was long gone from WWE. I just love that moment because I was there.
Yeah, I agree. Halloween Havoc. And then one not so great moment, but still great moment, was Kevin Nash using him as a lawn dart against that trailer. That moment will live for me forever. I've never seen a human go horizontal, thrown by somebody into a trailer like that. That was insane, and took the bump because he was high up. Eddie was high up. There was no fucking mat on the ground. It was just grass. So Ray was high up. Shout out to him. K-Dog says, man, I believe I played Matt Hardy versus Christian No Mercy in 2000. Shake my head. Referencing the video game there. So for sure.
Christian doesn't wrestle his age. Matt Hardy wrestles his age. He's 47. He looks 47. Christian doesn't.
He has a hard time. All right, real quick, the Streamlabs. AZ Badfish said, just sending support, loving the special extended episode. Yeah, it wasn't our intention, but it's out there. Hill Nellums sending in a nice donation saying, Rocha, now you can get the shirt.
Hey.
He says, I really hope the Bayley Dakota Io stable sustains. I need Asuka versus Io stat. Also, am I wrong to suspect that in this new Triple H regime to think that Nakamura versus Gunther IC match is going to be a banger?
Well, Nakamura said on Twitter that he feels resurrected. A resurrected Shinsuke Nakamura versus Walter?
The namesake of
all
our
day.
Show. Resurrected?
Give it to me. Let's go.
Let's go. Chris, thoughts on this?
They are going to be – it's going to be a potato farm in that match. They are going to be laying into each other in a way that we have not seen on television in some time. The King of Strong style versus the King of Chop style. It's going down the next week on SmackDown. And because before you wouldn't be so hyped because you think, oh, they're probably not going to get that much time and this, that, and the other.
Right.
No. They're probably going to main event SmackDown next week, and it's probably going to be like 25 minutes.
Wow.
And I can't wait to see it.
Stiff is the word.
Yeah, for sure. It's a Bubba Ray masterpiece, a hardcore Holly masterpiece. Justin Toner says, hi, guys. For the first time in a long time, I'm optimistic that WWE will continue to improve with what Triple H has been doing this past week. Excited that Becky is back to being the man. Hope she heals quickly. If Johnny Gargano appears next, it will not surprise me. Yeah, I don't disagree. But where would he show up? At Clash of the Castle, at Raw, SmackDown?
It's gotta be Raw, and it's gotta be somewhere close to Florida.
Oh yeah, fair.
To get that pop.
Yeah. God,
he's going where Ciampa is for sure. Whatever brand Ciampa's.
Oh yeah, wherever Ciampa.
They got to.
My God, if Gargano shows up as a face to fuck with Ciampa's attempt to get the U.S. title, or shows up to challenge him for the U.S. title, people will lose their shit. Ciampa versus Gargano on the main roster. Oh, forget it, man. People will go insane. All right, let's wrap up here. Aaron, do you want to throw in some trivia real quick? I know you worked hard on this, so let's do it quick.
All right, Rocha, I'll let you go first. See, okay, sorry, Chris, you can go first. On our note sheet, we have 10 categories. So
I see what you're saying.
You just pick a category. I'll ask you the corresponding question. So there you go.
Okay, I will go first. WWF in the 1980s. Oh, wait, here are the categories. Sorry, go ahead, Aaron. Sorry.
The categories are government names, which would be the wrestlers' real names. Managers, wrestlers in film, WWF in the 80s, WCW, ECW, the Monday Night Wars, factions, tag teams in women's wrestling. John Rocha went with category number 4, which is WWF in the 80s.
Let's do it.
And I will ask you this question. Considered the original screw job, Wendy Richter lost her women's championship to the Spider Lady. What female Hall of Famer was under the Spider Lady mask?
The Fabulous Moolah, son.
That is correct. It is the fabulous.
What do we do here?
The Fabulous Moolah. All right, Chris, your turn. Pick a category.
ECW.
All right, that is category 6, ECW. And I will ask you the question, Chris, who is the longest reigning ECW champion of all time?
World champion?
World champion. Sorry, I should have clarified.
Okay.
World champion of all time, because we know RVD was the longest TV champ.
Is it? Oh, this is not fair because it's either Shane or it's Raven. I think. I'm going to go with Shane. I'm going with the franchise.
The franchise Shane Douglas is correct.
Nice
It's the correct
job,
answer.
Chris.
All right, Rocha. We'll do maybe 2 more. Rocha, go
Women's
ahead.
women wrestling, just to see if I can have a shot. Just
Women's wrestling. That's category 10.
Real quick. We have 132 you watching us right. We have 140. Please hit that like button as we're doing this trivia. Go ahead. Sorry, Aaron.
No answers in the chat or I'll kill you. Okay. In the women's wrestling, what WWE Hall of Famer was known as both Tina Ferrari and Ashley Cartier in the original iteration of Glow?
Oh my God. That is super tough. Oh my. Repeat the question one more time.
Okay. All right. What WWE Hall of Famer was known as both Tina Ferrari and Ashley Cartier in the original iteration of Glow?
Fuck, I watched that series. Alondra Blaze. I don't know. Who was it?
It's pretty close. Chris, do you want to go ahead and steal it? Chris?
It's Ivory.
It is Ivory. Ivory is the correct answer.
Damn it.
All right, Chris, give me another category here.
Damn it.
Wait. You know what? I want to go wrestlers in film.
Wrestlers in film. Okay, here we go. Oh, this is not going to be good. This wrestler cameoed as a KKK Grand Wizard in Jay and Silent Bob reboot.
This is going to be hilariously enough, it's the Wizard Chris Jericho.
Yeah,
It is Chris Jericho. That is the correct answer.
so
All right, Rocha-
easy.
Rocha, redeem yourself.
Okay,
Redeem yourself.
what do we got left here? Government name. You know what? The Monday Night Wars. I'm probably going to fail this one, but let's see.
The Monday Night Wars. Question 7. Who was the man that ended Goldberg's illustrious winning streak?
Kevin Nash.
Kevin Nash is correct.
Finger poke of doom. Kevin
I got zapped with a taser, actually. But
yeah, right.
Chris, you got one? Got another one?
Sure. Let's go with this. This is my weakest. No, fuck that. I'm going with managers. WCW is my weakest category.
Oh man, the WCW is a good one. The manager's question is question number 2. Who was the manager of Akeem the African Dream?
Oh, baby, the Slickster.
The Reverend Slick is correct. John Rocha, you want to redeem yourself? We only got a few more. Let's just
still around the
bang it
Slickster.
out.
Still around.
Let's bang it
Yes,
out. We got
there
a
he
few
is.
more.
What do we got left?
Wrestlers in film, government names.
I thought he did
WCW.
wrestlers in film. He did wrestlers in film.
Oh, I'm sorry. Government names, WCW,
Okay.
factions, and tag teams.
Oof. Let's do factions. Let's see
Factions,
if I got a
that's
shot. at
question
factions.
number 8.
Oof.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Sick Boy, Reese, Lodi, and Van Hammer were members of what WCW faction?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh, John. You're going to be mad at yourself, John, if you don't get this one.
Sick Boy. I remember Lodi. I remember Van Hammer.
Sick Boy, Lodi, Van Hammer, Reese. And there are others, but those were the ones. I'll also throw in Horace as well. Horace.
Was it NWO? Was it NWO Black and White with Horace? No.
Chris?
The Flock, Ravens Flock.
Oh,
Ravens Flock
Ravens.
is the correct
Nice.
answer. All right, Chris.
Damn
Tag teams, WCW, or government names?
All right, since this will probably be my last question, I'll stare the gun right in the barrel. Let's go WCW.
WCW. I love this question. Jake Roberts and Sting faced off at Halloween Havoc 1992. What was the really odd stipulation for this match?
Well, interestingly enough, it's so interesting you asked that question, Aaron, because it is actually the spin the wheel, make the deal match, and it was a coal miner's glove, which was the answer.
That is the correct answer. A coal miner's glove match. Holy crap.
Oh.
All right, John, one more
Wait,
round.
wait,
One more
a
round.
quick anecdote about why I know.
Oh, yes.
Okay,
Yes,
go
please.
ahead. Yeah.
As
If you
a kid, I didn't really watch that much WCW, and someone had told me that Jake the Snake Roberts had fought Sting, and I called the WCW hotline to ask Mean Gene Okerlund about that. And he told me about, whoever was talking told me that answer. And that has stuck with me forever. Only reason I knew the answer to that.
That's kind of awesome.
Let me tell you what happened. All right. Yeah. All right.
All right. Well, we got one more round here. So government names or tag teams, Rocha? Did he freeze?
Oh, no. Am I froze? There we go.
Okay.
Tag
No,
team.
okay. You're good.
Tag team. Sorry.
You want tag
I don't
teams?
know
Okay.
government names. So
All right. Fair enough.
unless it's Terry Bollea, I don't know it.
It's not. Rocco Rock and Johnny Grunge were known as what tag team in WCW and ECW?
Public Enemies, right?
Public Enemy is correct.
Yeah,
the
Public
Public Enemy. So, Chris, that leaves you with government names.
Two white dudes took
Oh,
that guy.
Christ.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a wrestler's government name. You tell me who it is. What professional wrestler is, excuse me, what professional wrestler's real name is Colby Lopez?
Ooh.
Colby Lopez.
I want to say, okay, because I remember being surprised by this. I want to say it's Seth Rollins.
Rocha?
I couldn't even venture a guess. Andrade. Go ahead. Yeah.
Seth Rollins is correct.
Oh!
I remember
real
that
name
coming up. And I was
is
like, wait a
Colby
minute.
Lopez.
Is Seth Latin?
Yeah. Colby
Yeah.
Lopez. He's a Latino.
Of course. Look at that hair. Come on, man.
So there you go. That is your trivia for the
That was
week.
awesome. That was awesome.
Got to keep Rocha still has that Schmodown competitive spirit. So we got to bring it out every once in a while.
Dude, please. Of course. Even though it's going away, I always have competitive nature within me on this stuff.
Yeah. If you
but I always defer to you guys because you guys always know more than I do. Plus, you're younger than I am, so your mind.
We gotta switch it up. I want to see Aaron compete.
Yeah, that's a fair point, Chris.
Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. Rocha, come up with the questions next.
Yeah, I'll come up with it. Definitely. I'll come up with categories. That's great. Or maybe we'll keep those categories, or I'll come up with different questions in those categories.
That'd probably be easier, yeah.
All right, let's do that. All right, well, thanks everybody for watching this episode of Strong Style. We appreciate and love you all madly. Thanks for keeping the chat lively as hell. Thanks to almost 150 of you who were joining us live this morning. It was so awesome. There was so much to talk about. Hope we covered it all. Let us know what you thought in the comment section below. Hit a like on this video as well, and share it on your social media with that hashtag Strong Style and the Outlaw Nation, please. And Aaron Turner, where can people find you? Another fun show, brother man.
You can find me on Twitter at Only Aaron Turner. You can find me this Tuesday at NXT at the Capitol Wrestling Center with our newest, biggest fan, Grayson. He loves us. He loves the show. Nice. So shout out to Grayson. I'll see you Tuesday, buddy. Hope you enjoy NXT. Also, trivia on Strong Style more over than Liv Morgan is champion. Thank you.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Chris Burns, another fun show, brother. Where can they find you? What you got going on?
You can find me at Chris_please. I got a lot going on. Keep up with it there. And Hangman Adam Page, not over, and a way better wrestler than Killer Cross. Boom!
That hurt. That hurt.
Yeah, it's not wrong. It's not wrong. As for me, at the Rocha Says on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, as you see there on the screen. Also, remember to follow me on Twitch, the Outlaw Nation, all one word on Twitch there. Going to do a lot more stuff coming up here, watch-alongs, what have you. Going to spend much more time on Twitch, I'm telling you. And keep out for that. Keep a lookout for the news of our podcast, our show, moving to its own YouTube channel, coming very, very soon. So all of us can generate more and more content on the channel and have fun. And you guys can have one place to go for all your news, opinion, and analysis on professional wrestling. We want to build Strong Style. We've got a great team together now. Let's put this thing in motion even more so than it has been. And so look out for that very soon, coming in the next few weeks. All right. Y'all are awesome. Take care of yourselves. Have a great rest of your weekend. And we will talk to you next time with another brand new live episode of Strong Style. Yeah.